with our pre-race ceremonies. We go trackside now. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise and remove your hats as the Upson Lee High School Navy ROTC color.
If you're not rising, get the fuck out of here. I love my country.
And now, please welcome former defensive lineman for the Atlanta Falcons and current Honduras Outreach CEO John Burrow as he offers today's invocation.
I was about to say, don't tell me you're bringing Corey Bierman out here. No.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day and we thank you for this race. We ask that you protect all that are involved.
What about Goldberg?
Thank you for this nation and the
he was a bench-warming defensive lineman for the Falcons.
Military and first responders. Lord, give us unity and allow us to see each
Goldberg got his ass kicked by Chris Jericho.
Fearfully and wonderfully made in your image, worthy to be loved.
There's a funny story about that. Goldberg and Chris Jericho got in a real fight backstage, and Jericho choked him out. And when they're pulling them all apart, Jericho says to Goldberg, and Booker T was there, and Jericho goes, "You're being a fucking asshole." And Goldberg goes, "Your mother's an asshole." And Booker T goes, "Did he just say your mother's an asshole? That's the gayest shit I ever heard." And walked away. It might rain, but maybe not. It's literally like 50-50 if it's going to rain at all. Oh, God. Turn my voice down. Hey, Lori. Hey, everybody. Michael was nice enough to give me 2 picks today. So if Chase wins, I get $11. If Hamlin wins, I get $11. So they will probably finish second and third to Kyle Larson, who I think is actually going to win. I'm pretty sure Kyle Larson's going to win.
You heard it here first.
Top 3 is going to be Larson, Elliott, and Hamlin.
I'm hoping for a rain-out Daniel Suarez win.
Suarez was running 6th here, and they had a pit penalty earlier this year. He was doing really good here. I think Suarez could have a really good race. Harvick could surprise everybody and win. I just don't think they're going to have the speed. Truex has started at the back because he failed inspection twice, so you know he's got a good fucking car. I thought about picking Truex.
He ain't gonna make it up front.
I think he'll get to the front, but I don't know if he's going to be able to run with Larson and Chase.
Who can?
I watched the SRX when I got home, Michael. That was nuts. See, Haley Deegan wrecked Paul Tracy's fat ass. Yeah. And then Marco Andretti won. Didn't know after all this time that Marco Andretti spent 15 years doing jack shit in IndyCar. Turns out he's a pretty good stock car driver. It's looking awfully rainy over the backstretch, but we'll see. Yeah, Tracy was complaining when Deegan dumped him. He's been the one driving like a fucking dick for 5 weeks in a row. I'll definitely be home Saturday night to stream the Nashville race because Chase is in it.
I was about to ask you what you think about Chase being in the.
Wouldn't be surprised if he just shows up and wins.
I think they should put Larson in it.
Yeah, enjoy today. Last race before this track is probably ruined forever, unless they change their mind in the next few days after all the bullshit they've had to endure from drivers.
Change it again like they've done before.
We'll make this multi-groove racetrack really fucking narrow, and we'll repave it so they'll only be able to run one lane, and then expect to see pack racing. Like,
did they bring a shitty package?
This is the shitty package for this race.
Yeah, they brought the shitty package on purpose.
It's a mile and a half. Remember, the rule is if it's a mile and a half or bigger, this is what they run. So now last year it was if the track's over a mile, this is what we run. But Darlington is better with low downforce, and they knew Nashville was going to suck if they didn't bring low downforce there. So now it's just mile and a halfs or higher or the shitty package.
Well, I'll give them Atlanta if they give me 750 horsepower.
Yeah.
That's the only way I give it.
Yeah, we can do the new Atlanta next year if they run high horsepower. That should be the compromise. Like a fucking Jean Girard and Talladega Nights. That's a fair compromise, yes?
That's fair to me.
Hey, Jim France and Mike Hilton, what if you just say, I love really small spoilers? That's a fair compromise, no? Marco Andretti says he's looking into doing some Xfinity races. That'd be cool. Should drive for Junior. Junior puts everybody in his fucking cars. Junior said he was trying like hell to get Jeff Burton to run some races for him. And then Junior almost ran himself yesterday.
That would have been awesome.
I don't know where or how Michael Annett hurt his leg, but Well,
Hard him in the playoffs.
I'm really glad to be watching this and not that fucking truck race again. That was rough. That was a 5-hour stream for a truck race, Dylan. Because I did the heat races and there was like a 45-minute break in between. Played a little heat and watched some shit on YouTube. And then the race went like an hour over. I was just done. I was already tired from working all week. It's like, fuck. A nice, short 400-mile race at Atlanta. If you guys remember how bad the last two 500-mile races were at Atlanta, you're very happy that this is 400.
So what's the good finish?
All you gotta do is look around and see some of the battles. Old wore out track, bumpy. You got your hands full.
I watched that too. I was 6 years old. I watched that. I lived in Ellenboro.
He's there in the pits.
I watched that, living at the same damn house in Ellenboro. We moved a lot back then, but we were in that same house a couple years in a row.
For some reason, that Goodrich car just doesn't know how to lose here on the last
Why
lap.
is it the same 2 feet?
You gotta go where they're not in order to pass them. Somebody might go low, you gotta go high. You gotta find different grooves.
Remember how great the 2016 Atlanta is one of the most underrated cup races. There was like a 220 lap green flag run in the middle of that race, and it was fucking great.
So many storylines to keep track of as we come to.
If an odd numbered car wins, you get $390 goddamn dollars.
Go to Dylan Walsh.
Okay, well 11, 19, 9, and 5. That's pretty good.
Their personal ATMs this year, but yet to cash in on an intermediate track this season is Alex Bowman. Now that may change today after a strong third place run here in the spring and momentum after another strong
Oh yeah, I gotta
run
set it
for
up where I
Alex
can't see the
Bowman
leaderboard
last
because
week.
we're like almost a full minute behind.
Despite starting 17th, they can grab their 4th win of the year on a
Because we're
tricky
watching on the
circuit.
NBC app again. I explain this every time. NBC Sports app is like 45 seconds behind everybody else.
Ryan Blaney for the win. I asked Cliff Daniels, his crew chief, what would you do differently today? He said, honestly, that's the first time
I was living in a shitty little trailer in Ellenboro, North Carolina when I watched Carl Edwards pass Jimmy Johnson, and I was cheering like crazy because I was tired of Jimmy Johnson winning. I wasn't a Hendrick fan yet, so I was happy as hell to see Carl Edwards win that race.
A win today. They think they know the way to victory lane. Let's see if they can finish it off this time, Dave.
Marty, Kyle
And then after the race, I turned on NASCAR 2005 Chase for the Cup, much like I do now after races. Not a lot has changed since 2005.
102nd time in the Xfinity Series in 362 starts.
Whoop-de-doo, Basil.
And he always used the Xfinity Series to learn a little bit of something that he might be able to use during the Cup race. Well, today
So what I'm going to do is, I feel like we're further behind the usual. I'm going to stop my NBC app and start it up again, see if that helps. No, I don't want to watch the Olympics.
Do you think Kyle wrecked his teammate on purpose?
No, but even though he was annoyed that he did it, I don't think he was that upset that he did it because it won him the fucking race. He wouldn't have won otherwise.
That was his last one.
That's what Junior always says when a guy's running a series. Like, hey, you ain't got a race next week. What you got to do? It's like, yeah. All those good Atlanta fans. You know, I think about this one Atlanta race that nobody really remembers, but I remember being pissed because Juan Pablo Montoya was catching, I think, Kurt Busch for the lead, and it was going to be one of them side-by-side Atlanta deals. Like Montoya was running Kurt Busch down in 2010 at Atlanta. Caution comes out. It was 09. It was 2009 Atlanta, I think. Caution comes out. It's like, fuck. Pit stops happen. Montoya loses spots, blah, blah. Kurt Busch drives away and wins. I was like, God damn, if that caution didn't come out, they were going to be side-by-side on the last lap, and I remember being pissed. Pretty sure it was 2009. Or was it? I can't remember if it was 09 or if it was 2010 when fucking Edwards flipped Keselowski over, and that was the caution that fucked that up. I can't remember. It was one of those two races. I like how it said one of one ads. Now it's making us watch 4 ads before it'll turn the fucking race broadcast back on. I was in Connecticut when Marcus Ambrose won Watkins Glen both years in a row. I was in Connecticut watching those races. One was on a Monday.
He won 2 in a row.
Yeah. 2011, 2012. And it was the same 3 guys both years in a row. Kyle Busch was leading, Keselowski second, Ambrose third. Kyle Busch fucking... I think 2011, Kyle Busch had dominated the race and a late caution come out. He blows the fucking restart. Keselowski and Ambrose get by him. And then the next year, Bobby Labonte's blowing up with 3 laps to go and they never throw a caution. There's oil all over the fucking place. I remember Junior spun out and kept going. And then Kyle Busch going into turn 1 on the last lap gets fucking dead sideways, spinning out in the oil, saves it, and then Brad just fucking runs through him, takes him out. And then Marcos hits Brad, and they're beating and banging to the finish line. So 2 years in a row. 1 year Kyle Busch choked. That's next time he just slipped in the oil and gave the fucking race to Keselowski and Ambrose won. I was in Connecticut. I'd just been to an Alice Cooper concert 2 nights before that in 2011. What I remember the most, it's funny you asked me about where was I when Ambrose won Watkins Glen. That was the day I made the unfortunate mistake of talking to who would become my girlfriend at the time. That was a mistake. That's what I remember about that time.
NBCSN is brought to you by Carvana, driven to make winners out of our customers. Credit One Bank, the official credit card of NASCAR. Visit GoCredit1.
But Dale, why haven't you had like a proper girlfriend since? You figure it out.
And by Brent Street. For more information, visit BrentStreet.com.
It was that bad.
Racing in Atlanta is definitely old school. Atlanta for me always brings back great memories. I don't know how you can
I just raced in Atlanta a little while ago in NASCAR 2005. I'm in the chase, and my next race was Atlanta, and I did that this morning.
always been the car to be here in Atlanta. It means so much to come back here and do this.
2008, I remember Tony Stewart finished 3rd. Tony, how'd your race go? That was the most pathetic racing tire I've ever been on in my entire professional career.
One of the coolest tracks to slide and drift.
2004 Atlanta is my favorite
Push the car. Drivers were fighting.
because Junior won, and it was boring because Junior just dominated.
I just said Larson blow a tire and turn
Always puts on great shows there.
First victory ever at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Kevin Harvick wins in dominating fashion.
Nobody dominates a race. They don't exist.
Well, that's why we schedule 35 cautions a race to try to hinder that domination. I was there.
Always
your
appreciate
winner
racing
today?
close to home.
That sexy red and black car.
And it's time now for today's starting grid, brought to you by...
Keep them clouds away.
Let's hear from the first 5 rows.
'Cause I was thinking a little while ago if a race wasn't coming on, I'd like to go back to bed. I'm fucking sleepy.
No, I bet Tyler Reddick's in the
Kyle Busch, Las Vegas,
Ross
Nevada.
Chastain's.
Denny Hamlin.
Reddick's going to have a good day. I think Reddick and Suarez are going to have really good races.
Martin Truex Jr., Hayata, New Jersey.
Kyle Larson, Elk Grove, California. Tyler Reddick.
Stenhouse in that awesome NOS paint scheme.
Kurt Busch, Las Vegas, Nevada. Ross Chastain,
Go to the rear,
Alva,
Truex,
Florida.
you bum.
Joey Logano, Middletown, Connecticut.
Fuck you, Logano, and your receding hairline.
Briscoe coming off a career best finish, and Road America finished 6th alongside Matt DiBenedetto.
That's all
Alex
I've
Bowman, Chris Buescher make up road 9.
10-car field, what do you know? Times are tough.
Atlanta races, work cut out for him. He's starting back in row 11.
Daniel Suarez behind him in row 14. Justin Haley starts 28.
You know, Dylan, if we could have...
And Jeff, let's see if
Hell,
we can chat with
what are we doing here? I asked you 2 weeks ago, you want to go to Atlanta? And you said you couldn't. Oh, and it was money, not because you didn't have the car. It was money.
I was going right up here yesterday. Last minute, you found out you're going to drive that Xfinity
Post
car.
Malone made a music video with Bubba and Denny. Well, I'll never see it. I'll never see it because I won't watch it.
I know these cars putting out a lot of rubber.
Like a Rolls
And
Royce
we'll
or
just be
something like
moving
that
around
on the
and trying to
racetrack,
find
and
that
everybody
speed,
was
but
like,
then
oh my
some fun
God, let's
racetracks
go
that
there, let's go there.
heated and repaved, but we want to enjoy this day as best we can with
We were talking before the race, guys. We just might have to go to that shit show in Atlanta next year. We just might have to go.
I think we should all petition high
I think it's
horsepower.
kind of wherever you got to go on these restarts.
Every driver should say we will not show up if we don't
One
get high
and two, the top
horsepower.
stays pretty strong, but you can kind of conserve your tires running that low line.
Like Austin Dillon said, enjoy it today.
Buddy, good luck today.
All
Have
you
fun.
can do.
I'd enjoy it if it was high horsepower today.
Really fortunate to have Res Tree giving us this ride today. Austin Dillon will do a good job.
Is it?
a few more updates from the pit road. Let's go to Marty.
And riding on board with the hometown sponsor Coca-Cola, who's going to bring his views from Ryan Newman's race car. Talked to Ryan.
Flying Ryan.
Race, and he said, you know, honestly, of the 550 races left at the end of the
Look how fucking thick Ryan Newman is in that seat. And the fire suit just makes him look funny.
Because that's going to be a factor, I think that's to our
Go,
strength.
Wiener, man.
That's a thick Oscar Mayer wiener.
On the Coca-Cola onboard, Dylan.
And Marty, we talked about this strength of the Hendrick cars.
Oh, what about Ryan Blaney's Rusty Wallace throwback that doesn't even look anything remotely like anything Rusty Wallace ever drove? Oh, but it's black and yellow. That's not a throwback. It's like, I don't remember Rusty Wallace ever driving anything that looked like this. Nice paint scheme, though. I like it, but it's not a throwback like they were trying to say it was.
Looking back at you, a very different and unique paint scheme.
I love Denny's paint scheme.
This weekend, chatted with Denny just a moment ago, and he said, "Hey, listen, we left here with a slew of notes after a top 5 finish in March, knowing that we can come
If
back."
Denny wins, I get $11. If Chase wins, I get $11. Like I said, they will finish second and third.
Different and unique describes the way Chase Elliott's car looks.
What kind of company is ME?
The folks from A-Shock sponsoring the onboard camera here, but the color of the car, black and red, very different from the blue, white, and yellow that is traditional.
He didn't like his
with
thong
Chase Elliott.
sponsorship.
So for the team, they've got to be extra sharp, especially spotter Eddie DeHunt, who will be looking from on high.
Oh, yeah, they're talking about they're struggling to remember that Chase is driving a black and red car.
Today, and for you fans, pay attention to the 9. Now let's head
I'll
over
never
to
forget
Georgia's
the
own.
2008 Daytona 500. Junior in '88. All, Junior had driven the red Budweiser car forever. And then I'm watching the 08 Daytona 500 forgetting where the fuck he's at because he's in a green and white car. I was like, this is fucking weird. That took me like 3 weeks to get over.
If Chase wins,
It is unbelievable to think of how many races for trucks.
It'll be a unique one.
Cars, Bandoleros, all the ones that have happened. There's a lot of pride on the line today, guys, to get that last win on this asphalt.
Thanks, Rudd. And speaking of that asphalt, Steve, let's talk a little bit about the numbers.
Speaking of that ass,
Breakdown here. The last time they'll run in this configuration.
The oldest asphalt surface on the NASCAR series, a little over 1.5 miles, 24 degrees of banking, wide corners. They're going to run from the bottom all the way to the top, especially down in 1 and 2.
I'm going to enjoy New Hampshire next week. Short track tendencies, high horsepower. It's going to be great. But then we get 2 weeks off.
And it looks that way. You run on the racetrack, the surface is just worn out.
Told them yesterday I played NASCAR 98 as a kid, and it had the old Atlanta because it was 97 the last year with the old Atlanta. We're going green next time.
Well before you need Sunoco fuel.
All right, the 19, Mark
I'm
Truex
going 50
Jr.
laps on my
is
tires.
going back from his starting position. He was supposed to start 5th, but will now start at the back.
When that 47 stayed out yesterday,
Earlier today.
I was like, what are you doing?
he got what he deserved.
Yeah.
And they're 2x2.
He tried to do a good thing. He picked the outside line, which is death on restarts.
But
Yeah.
it was
Everywhere on the racetrack.
I've never seen somebody take off that slow, though.
Wide 55 feet. You mentioned it's going to be narrowed to 40. But as we saw earlier on the pre-race show, there's still a lot of room to move around, even at that.
Oh, there's a ton of room, and guys are going to use every bit of it. The other thing is,
Most of this broadcast today is going to be them being told by NASCAR to talk about how great the new Atlanta is going to be. Try to tell everybody it's going to be great.
That doesn't do it. The weather will. Weather in the area. We had a shower earlier. You see right here.
There's a chance of rain, Robert. There's chance.
Scattering all around. But if you know the Atlanta area in the summer, a thundershower-
Boy, Atlanta Motor Speedway is really fucking far away from Atlanta, isn't it?
Let's listen into the 4 radio.
They're talking like they're never racing there again. It's depressing. I've been begging for years. Let's get the championship race back at Atlanta. Not anymore. Never again.
And now it's Georgia's own Chase Elliott that is leading the field to the green flag here with Kyle
Going green.
outside. That inside line will be the
One last time.
not only the start
Then he can burn this place to the ground for all I fucking care.
racing.
Inside line's going to... Look at what a fucking jump Chase Elliott got. Chase Elliott has like a second lead going into turn 1 already.
Start.
That's a 10
Chase Elliott rockets out to the lead.
Inside line's where you want to be. Outside line, there's just no grip. Spin the tires on the restart. Unless you do like Larson, and Bell just about blocked him into the wall.
Oh, yeah, there's about to be a big wreck.
God damn. 3 wide, Chastain, Logano,
3 wide
Larson.
here on turn 3 on this first lap.
Chase, Bush, and Hamlin get away with the lead.
The 3 wide.
Yeah.
Kyle Larson jumped up there and
Look at all that room they have to race, Dylan.
Joe Logano filled that hole.
Chase leads lap 1. Look at all that room they've got. They won't have that next year.
Tyler Reddick in the 8 on the
That was a
inside.
fucking jump and a half for Chase Elliott there.
Still trying to use that outside line. And here comes the 5.
There's comp caution coming at like lap 25, I think. It's either 25 or 20 or something like that.
That outside line in 1 and 2 will be a very popular place, but normally as the tires age stage on these brand new tires.
Kyle Busch running him down 2 laps in. Chase got a great jump, but Busch is fast. Running a different line, too. Tyler Reddick going for 3rd. He won a stage last week. Ooh, he lost the nose of the car and won. Ooh, tight. 8 car got really tight.
Christopher Bell to the inside of the 8 car down the back straightaway, using the momentum from the top. Looking at the racetrack, it looks like it still has.
I don't think Bell's driven a straight line since the start of this race. I know we're only 3 laps in.
Using the whole racetrack.
Well, juniors get the feel that Atlanta's Tyler Reddick's kind of racetrack. You can go top, bottom, wherever you want to run here. But before they came to the green, he reported a...
How long is it going to take for the other Hendrick cars to get to the front?
I'm cool sure it's working. It was working, but whatever is connected to the driver lead, something's making a bunch of noise.
Boy, that looks rainy over there.
Smell it burning up, so I turned it off.
He also said that the driver air hose to the helmet is not working.
Tyler Reddick's air conditioning's not working. Good thing it's like 80 degrees and cloudy. Larson picking up where he left off, being stuck behind Joe Logano last time he was at Atlanta. That was an aggressive slide move there Logano pulled. I wish he'd got fucking run over. Oh, Matty D cuts up in front of the 8. These guys are all getting it now. Larson's got him. He got to the bottom now. Clean air. The other 2 cars are up top. Reddick 3 wide with Matty D and Larson. Reddick passed them all. He passed Logano, Larson, and Matt DiBenedetto. And now Larson's right back to where he was a lap ago. And they're 3 wide again. Wow, look at all that room they got, Dylan. Don't you think they could use that here next year?
I think if it was high horsepower, they wouldn't.
I mean, those are 2 separate units, and both of them going out. That concerns me that they might have a bigger issue.
We worked together too long, Jeff, because you're reading my mind. I was thinking, no, like 2 electrical things both going out at the same time.
I think Penske's going to have a good day. They've been laying low lately, but they were really good last time they were here.
Because to Jeff's point, there are other things much more vital for the car's performance that, unfortunately, for the driver, he can run.
Truex will get there. Like I said, Truex failed pre-race twice. You know he's got a good car. Reddick going for 4th. Remember, Harvick finished in the 20s last week, so that's where he starts this week. Well, Truex started dead last, and he's already passed Kevin Harvick. And Harvick had to start in the back because it was from where he finished last week. I can't believe Harvick was at 11-1 odds. I felt like he should have been lower. I know it's Atlanta, but still. They just don't have the speed.
He'd probably kill his tires going up there, but you ain't got nothing else.
Got a caution coming in 17 laps. And everybody will pit.
Junior up to 25th already after starting in the back.
We talk a lot about Kevin Harvick because of his success and how important this race is to probably measure where the 4 car is with Jeff.
Yeah, if anybody needs to actually watch the race instead of listening to me, talk to Meerkat. He's got a link.
Summer as well, and I just feel at some point I have to see something out of this 19 car for me to have a lot of confidence heading into the playoffs. And with road courses coming up and Daytona Super Speedway,
Truex hit the apron a little bit there.
Standard playoff type racetracks.
Yeah, we're accustomed to seeing them just absolutely flying through the field when they start back. He's made ground up, but not like they do when they're at their best. And they just haven't shown it over the last few months.
Yeah, look at how hard it is for him to find out how to get the car to the bottom.
Damn, Ryan Newman fucking drove away from Truex there.
Meaning that the car really has a lot more grip when you can get the left front tire on that little green stripe.
It turns a lot better and has more grip when you ain't got a fucking giant spoiler in front of you off the car in front of you pushing that air on you.
You come off of that apron, you really lose. It's 2 to 3 tenths a lap. When you do
I'm going to try to restrain myself from saying dirty air 100 times today, but it's going to be a problem. Remember, I was saying that when Logano was cock blocking Larson here a couple months ago. I'm like, dirty air.
But when I talked to Kevin pre-race, he said, I'm going to be committed to the bottom. In fact, it's kind of become a verb here.
Well, I think Harvick needs some adjustments.
Very bottom of the racetrack, he said, I'm going to be committed.
Stuart Haas really has got to reevaluate everything. If Harvick comes to Atlanta and doesn't get a top 5 or a top 10, they just got to reevaluate everything. They got to fire everybody. Got a possible battle for the lead. Kyle Busch just got a great run off of 4, and he's closing in. Go to the outside. If you run the same line as him, you ain't gonna get it done. Chase had to hear Chase get a little tight on the bottom. Chase lays over. Kyle's to his outside, going down the back. And they cut away from it. Let's say the fuck.
Plus, you're in the gas earlier than the guy on the bottom. The guy on the bottom is feathering the gas, trying to get it wide open, having trouble doing it. You on the top.
Chase holding him off for now.
And you beat him off the corner and then down the next straightaway. When it works, it is so much fun.
Couple options here.
Get hop. We're only 12 laps away from a competition caution. Don't block him this early. Let him go. Chase thought about sliding up in front of him off a 2, but he's so fast. I think Chase can hold the lead doing this. Give him the line he wants. I think he can hold it. Block him off a 4, but if he gets to you outside off a 2, just let him have it. Kyle got loose that time. Cost him a little bit of his run down the front stretch. I think he would have made the pass here. A lot of it is the bumps. It's hard to get these fucking cars sideways with this shitty aero package, but this track is so bumpy you can, and now Kyle's going to take the lead. Kyle got it. My God, somebody passed a Hendrick car under green on a 1.5 miles. Kyle Busch just passed a Hendrick car under green at a 1.5 miles. And thank you, NBC, for waiting till the battle was decided before going to commercial. Busch, Elliott, Hamlin, Reddick, Bell. Yeah, like I was saying, it's hard to get these cars sideways with all that fucking downforce. But Atlanta, right now, it's still the one track where the high downforce, low horsepower cars get really sideways. It's really noticeable. You would get a lot more spins and cautions if they were racing cars that they should be racing here. And it would make for a better race because they'd get more restarts, which is all NASCAR wants. They want restarts and wrecks for the fucking highlight packages that they put on YouTube every week. So they're the tail wagging the dog, because if they wanted to get more things that they actually want, we'd be running high horsepower here because these cars would be out of fucking control. And they'd be shredding tires, which is what they want, because they want wrecks. They want wrecks and restarts. That's all they care about. We can't have a race like Road America where the best car and driver in the field just actually won the race. No, that was bad. Everybody was mad after Road America. Oh, shut up. Oh, these commercials are painfully long. I can't believe I was so sleepy before the race. I could have went to bed. Now I feel okay. I'll get through it. Yesterday was a fucking struggle because I knew the race was going to be a stinker because of Kyle Busch anyway. I was tired yesterday and Kyle Busch was in it, so I literally almost skipped out on streaming that race and just went out. Yeah. Come on now.
I guess the good news is they're still green.
Yeah. I always have to look away from the living room when I'm going to get my food because they're watching on the fucking regular channel. We could watch it, but it would look like shit. Hurts my eyes. Playing my PS2 sometimes hurts my eyes if I ain't done it in a while. Because I'm like, what the fuck?
Make sure to download the
about 5 laps till the caution now.
With free live scoring, there's in-car cameras and radio broadcast. Just search NASCAR in your app store to download and start a free trial today. It's overcast day, a good look.
How big is Busch's lead now? We're 20 laps in. He passed Chase about 5 laps ago.
Still out front.
It looks like he's got a pretty fucking big gap. I can't even see Chase anywhere near him. Nope, Kyle's the next car in front of him. Kyle's got a 2-second lead, yeah. Larson only being 7th is kind of surprising me. Byron's moved up a bunch. He's 15th. Yeah. Kurt Busch was running top 5 here earlier this year when he got wrecked on a restart by Denny Hamlin.
I'll tell you that this competition
I don't know why everybody's going to pit, and he's got the best pit crew.
Yeah.
Hamlin's running Chase down for safety. Chase is pretty committed to the bottom, but Hamlin and Kyle Busch are probably, I'm going to go out on a limb and say they're the 2 fastest cars on the track running the outside. So if Matty D finishes top 5, you get $225. Damn, son. I don't know. No, it's another guy. You know, my bet was Chase, but I wasn't completely confident. There was nobody I wanted to really bet on today. I wanted Larson, but his odds are too good. I think Caden, the Atlanta reconfigurations is going to fucking suck ass. I pretty much guarantee it's going to suck ass. And then they'll make it worse by putting PJ1 on it. I am dead against the Atlanta reconfiguration. I'm not against a repave because it's almost necessary at this point, but not a fan of what they're doing otherwise. Hamlin just took second away. And, well, Chase is going to take it back. Chase back to Hamlin's inside. He takes it back. If I was ever going to bet on Matty D to get a top 5, today might be a day to do it because Penske's really good here.
Through the bumps, it upsets the car so much in turn 1 and 2 on the bottom of the track.
Here comes a lap car.
Dave, what you got on the 9 car? So he lost the lead.
Chase changes his lineup to avoid the lap car. I think that's going to give the spot to Hamlin now. Chase running middle, Hamlin around the top, clears him by like 5 car lengths. And next time there will be a caution.
So it's very interesting to me because when I talked to his crew chief, Alan Gustafson, this morning, I said, how different are you on the car than you were here in March? He said, yeah, we're trying some stuff, but we're only about a 2 out of 10 different. Apparently that's enough difference to make the car feel.
Bowman top 10. So we got 3 in the top 10. I know it's early, but I'm going to say Hendrick's a little off today because Larson's only running where he started. And Chase faded here at the end of this run. So, yeah, I think the 18 and the 11 came to play today.
Yeah, I guess these drivers having that information in front of them for so many races now, they're used to getting it.
I told y'all, Atlanta's going to suck because it's going to be a freshly repaved track and it's going to be single file around the bottom.
I could hardly take any time to look around.
They can go on iRacing and run 3 wide on purpose all they want. That's not how it's going to be. They're going to be single file on the fucking bottom. It's going to look like Michigan.
That information coming from the spotter. Every lap I'd get a lap time. I just thought that helped me build it.
Matty D dropped to 9th there at the end of that run.
We just saw in 26
Keselowski fell out of the top 10.
Times fell off 2 seconds. 2 seconds of fall off. So the driver
Almirola's the best Stewart-Haas car right now. 17th. Harvick's 20. Okay, Harvick got it going there at the end of the stage. He went from 28th to 20th. Harvick probably got a better long-run car than short-run car. That's cost Harvick so many races at Atlanta. You know how they always talk about he's so good at Atlanta. He didn't win there for 16 years. But every year they'd show up and lead laps and get fucked at the end of the race because they couldn't run on a short run. So if recent history says anything, Harvick's long-run car is probably pretty good. I don't think it's anywhere close to the 2 that are up front right now, though. There's thick-ass Ryan Newman. Look how tiny Blaney looks in his seat compared to Newman. Ryan Newman is spilling out of his fucking seat. Little skinny Chase in his seat.
Talk a lot about Atlanta, a lot about the surface, a lot about the drivers. One other thing about Atlanta is there's not a lot of gimmicks.
It's supposed to rain in about 30 minutes. Well, that's a maybe. If it could break up or miss the racetrack, Robert. No. Not a chance. Not a chance. You're pitting.
You know, it's like, wow, did that guy do 2 tires? Did that guy do this?
They're going to pit and get 4 tires every chance.
Pit stalls are pretty good size.
That's the one negative about a track like this. Tire strategy. There is no tire strategy. It's 4 tires every time. And every chance you get.
make some type of an adjustment. They got to do.
Why is the 53 pitting with the leaders? He's a lap down. You see that? He's supposed to pit the next lap.
What Denny was saying is, I just can't finish the corner quite as well as I would like to.
The 53 just came down pit road with the lead lap cars. Whoa, Chase Elliott. Chase is far. Chase ran through his pit box and he ran over a hose. So Chase just lost a bunch of time on pit road. He's going to be out of the top 10 here. Hamlin. Denny Hamlin takes the lead. One of my picks. Hamlin takes the lead. Kyle Busch second. Reddick third. Larson up to fourth. Bowman up to seventh. God damn, the 5, the 48, and the 24 all gained a bunch of spots, but a lot of it had to do with Chase. He too close to the wall, long in the box, fell out of the top 10. There's not going to be enough rain to end the race today. There's just going to be a pop-up shower here and there. They got lights too, so it's not that big of a deal.
We don't get the lightning clock.
And they're on NBC Sports Network, so what the fuck are they going to... Well, I mean, there's Olympic shit going on, so they'd probably be quick to call the race to get them off the air for whatever Olympic bullshit's going on, so
Well, maybe we'll
remember that.
shit later at the time. Hopefully it'll be towards the end.
At the end of the stage, I'll look at the radar again if it doesn't rain before then. So old Sir Dennis of Hamilton. Robert, today could be your day, but I picked him, so you might be in for another second place disappointment.
Who did he bet on again?
Who did Michael bet on?
Yeah.
Michael, who'd you bet on? You put some money on Chase and some money on De Benedetto? Scroll up, I can see the comments again. Prop bets on Briscoe and Matty D getting top 20s. I'm confident Matty D will get a top 20. I don't know about Briscoe.
I think if they got Briscoe on the right strategy, he would.
You guys don't remember this, but in 1998, Jeff Gordon had the championship won weeks in advance, right? And the last race of the year is Atlanta. Jeff Gordon at that point had 12 wins on the season. Starts raining at Atlanta. Past halfway. But because NASCAR wanted to see Jeff Gordon get 13 wins and like have the modern record for wins in a single season, they sat there and waited all goddamn day to run that the rest of that Atlanta race at night because they wanted Gordon to get to 13 wins. They could have called the race that day. And it was like I said, he already had the championship sewn up weeks in advance, so. Is that a penalty on Chase too? Because he ran over a fucking hose. I don't know if that's a penalty or not. I know he had
Is
to.
it one if you run through your pit box?
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, it's only if your car's touching the outside of the line while they're servicing you. Yeah. Pitting outside the box will be a penalty. Hamlin, Busch, Reddick, Logano, Larson, De Benedetto. Inside line. Watch this outside line just die down. I'm surprised Kyle, being in the Xfinity races today, picked the outside. I'm surprised. Not a bad restart by Kyle.
Does a nice job.
But Hamlin's going to get the lead pretty easy here. He's got a better push from Reddick.
Pushing 11 into turn 1. I think with the Xfinity cars and more power, maybe it's a little harder to hook up on that outside line, whereas with this package today, and that momentum.
Gets that run off the outside. He's got a push from Logano. Gets Busch back to second. Damn, Kyle's fast. He's about to blow by Hamlin off. He's going to blow by Hamlin off of 4 here. Outside, outside. Okay.
About it yesterday, guys, right?
So the outside line's not as bad in the Cup car. Noted. I still want to be on the bottom, though. Hamlin just got really loose up off the bottom. They're still side by side. Hit him with that side draft there. Uh-oh, here comes Dickhead. They're side. Oh, we got a wreck in the back. Suarez, Stenhouse just crashed. God, that was all the way at the back. Yep, they're done. 47's done. 99, I don't think the 99's close. He might be done.
Left front, not even spinning for Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
Kyle Busch got the lead at the time of caution, I think.
99 and 47. Suarez smoke rolling out
Kyle's got
the left side.
51's involved. I'm not surprised by that. He's the one. He cost Hemrick the race yesterday, spun out on his own running 30th,
Left rear as well.
and brought out the cautions that set into motion the events that fucked Hemrick over. So, yeah, Suarez is done. You see how the fucking right front's pushed out? Hey, look. Cody Ware again, just like yesterday.
That was such a chain reaction up the racetrack where the
Yeah, he really needs to be out here, and he didn't hit anything. He's so slow, he was able to fucking save it.
Suarez down.
How do you wreck going that slow?
What a great
Yeah. All right.
And Alfredo.
I'll be right back. I'm going to go grab some food. If it comes on commercials, Dylan, mute it.
How fast it happened for real. Almost 47. Got hit, and he got into the side of the 99. That's so frustrating. Lap 32 of a 260 lap race.
Daniel needs every race going forward as they get closer to the playoffs to go well. This is exactly the opposite of that. I mean, this is going to hurt their chances of trying to claw their way back toward a chance to make the playoffs.
Steve, it wasn't just the body damage. That thing was sliding sideways even when it was going down pit road.
You coming? That's what I'm talking about.
PG-13 in theaters now. After last year's unprecedented Tour de France, the best cyclists in the world face another incredible journey in the 108th chapter of the Tour de France, beginning June 26th on NBCSN and Peacock. The only thing more...
God damn it, Dylan, you had one job.
I don't know why I just realized it.
Dylan had one job. Mute the commercials while I get something to eat.
I was late on that.
We'll do better next time.
Yes, sir.
There shouldn't be a next time, though. 'Cause I should be here. If there's a rain delay, I'm not streaming through it, so go ahead and anticipate we're stopping the stream if there's a fucking rain delay, and then I'll be back when the race starts up.
I think we should stream the 2004 Talladega race.
The one that pissed me off, or the one that I got the race win of?
The one you got the race win of.
Oh, okay.
Nothing like, because last time we watched, remember we watched Coca-Cola All-Star Race, I think it was.
Yep.
We got to watch something that's a little more exciting for us.
I worked too hard this week and streamed way too much this week to handle a fucking rain delay. This is some damn good chicken. Robert, you can be the weatherman. Make sure they're really good updates, though.
Thank you, Robert.
Pulling for your man today. $11. Get my money back from Cookout.
He's the Denny guy.
That was chicken is juicy.
Chase Elliott back in his home state of Georgia, trying to become just the second Georgia driver to win at this racetrack like his father did. And actually, Chase took Dale Jr. back to Dawsonville to learn a little bit more about the journey of what this reigning champ has gone through to get to where he is.
I love Chase Elliott to death,
Oddly enough, this is Elliott.
but he ain't exactly had the hardest life.
First cup race start.
He's been signed to a Hendrick Motorsports contract since he was like 12 years old, man. Like, he was a development driver at 12.
No, he did not say that. Is this top hobby? Teaching my dad how to do it like last summer. How to start. Are you ready, dude?
I'm just so happy Chase is a guy who can actually back up the hop. If he wasn't living up to the hop, I would understand not liking him. But he's a good dude, and he lives up to the hop.
You could immediately see his driver craft was really hot. I remember being the first one to the car. I didn't even know what to say, just for him to have somebody to vent to.
Dawsonville, Georgia, Chase Elliott is a NASCAR Cup Series champion.
You heard it.
Chase
There's that jackass Randy the plumber.
In August, you'll want to
Holy shit!
All right, Junior, what was the biggest surprise Dawsonville.
Chase Elliott's first job. You'll have to watch to find out what that is.
Junior with the cock tease.
Where he got his first job at. And it was a lot of fun. I've always been
Did Chase Elliott work at a condom factory or something?
what it is.
No, he worked at a dildo factory. That's why Junior's like, oh my God, I didn't know it was your first job.
Hometown, and he made that famous awesome bill from Dawsonville. With Chase has that same affinity for it, and loves that place, loves living there, loves being there. So
Yeah, Chase did not move to North Carolina. He still lives in Dawsonville.
Right there today.
We will look forward to that again during August on Peacock. So it's the 18 of Kyle Busch on the inside. Denny Hamlin now has chosen that outside line.
Yeah, Hamlin saw what Kyle Busch was doing on the last restart. Now Hamlin picked the outside.
Of row 2. Lights are off on the pace car, meaning this time 5 will see the green flag. And once again, field approaching the Geico restart zone.
Judging by the crowd, might have to take a few more seats out of Atlanta Motor Speedway. That's a pretty weak-looking crowd. Been that way for years there, though.
I want to see if Larson's got anything. Like if he can get up.
Well, Hamlin did not do what Busch did on the outside on that last restart.
Really hold on to the spot.
Kurt Busch jumped on the outside of Matthew Benedetto.
3 wide.
Look at him. He's stuck in the middle. Everybody going by him.
Matty D in the sucker hole.
Look on the bottom beside him. Martin Truex Jr. in that 19 car. He has fought his way
Hamlin
up,
holds on to second.
almost to the top 10.
Kyle Busch got a fast fucking car.
Denny was able to use that momentum. Take second. Joey Logano back.
I think the bitch is back. I mean, the Busch is back.
Bushy
Alex
McBush.
Bowman's going to dive to the bottom of the 2 car here. Brad Keselowski.
No more poverty wins for Kyle Busch. No more Austin Dillon fuel mileage wins. He's back to being able to win races the real way.
He's going to get a push for Austin Dillon. Now Brad's going to go and use that momentum to the very top of the racetrack. Get the outside of Kyle
Look at
Larson.
Brad on the outside of Larson back there. Yeehaw.
The 2 car continuing that momentum down the front straightaway. He's going to get up here and push his teammate. Now what is he going to do? He's got to
Future
go somewhere
co-owner of Roush Fenway Racing.
Now he's lost that momentum that he got.
See Logano cock block his own teammate off of 2 there.
Side drafting, trying to stay there. Having to get really aggressive with that side draft to make it work.
They're basically not teammates anymore.
Hey, what do you got on the
No, they're teammates as long as it helps Logano.
Joey Logano in Atlanta has not won here, and it's been 6 years since he's finished.
Damn, Stenhouse is still out there riding around.
Wolf this morning. I said, how do you guys make it better? And he said, do what our teammate is doing.
I think that's a little dangerous. There's Stenhouse out there riding around with that.
Exactly like it. It's not the way Joey would normally like to run a race car. Maybe a little bit freer than he's normally comfortable with. But they looked at each other and said, we've got to do something to get ourselves ready for the playoffs. And so far, it seems to be working okay for Joey.
Yeah, Denny looks a little faster this time around.
2 to 3 car lengths still separating the top 2. Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin. Logano, after starting up there in that second row, Dave has fallen back to the 6th spot now. Busch is 3rd, Reddick 4th, Alex Bowman 5th. Right against that wall, a little bit of cushion. Steve, fresh tires on all these cars.
Word up,
So,
Karen.
Are we going to see, with the competition caution coming out at lap 25, then this stage going all the way to lap 80, are we going to see how the tires wear and what kind of a fall off? We talked earlier, after 25 laps, it was around 2 to 3 seconds already to fall off.
Yeah, it's going to be a big test for the tire wear on all of these cars. You have to have your car handled well, not just for speed, but for use of the tires. If your car's very tight, meaning the front tire slides across the racetrack.
Kurt Busch going for second.
Tire in this stage,
Hell yeah.
competition yellow, almost just short enough. You can't really pit. You can make it safely on
You got to make Chip Ganassi regret selling the team.
pit under green. Marty?
Steve Owens, a freeway battle for the lead here as Kurt Busch gets by Denny Hamlin a moment ago, but right now Denny's saying on the radio, car very tight, but the one thing he's still talking about the time on the dash.
Denny talks like a robot. Car very tight.
Concern to Denny. Listen on the radio.
All right, so just to be clear, your dash is still frozen on lap 5, is that right? Really hurts when it moved around. You see from better orders. Yeah, we've heard other reports of that as well.
What a modern NASCAR driver problem. His digital dash is stuck on lap 5, so he can't see how he's running. Kill Yarborough didn't need a digital dash.
So good, where is he running? Denny trying to compare himself, but that lap time could be crucial to a place like Atlanta.
Yeah, it is. Every driver takes information differently. Denny obviously uses that dash a lot. Look at time and scoring to determine if he made a change in his driving style that was positive. Currently, he can gauge off those cars in front of him. Kurt Busch got by him. Kyle Busch is driving away from him. And we can hear how much Denny's out of the throttle. Denny is not happy with the way his car is handling right now.
Well, I think experience definitely helps on a track like this when you talk about not just adjustments, but what you have to do with your race car, and a driver with a ton of experience. The one of Kurt Busch, the 42-year-old out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Shocking as I did my homework. 740 starts in the Cup Series. I know I knew that, but to read it, Rick, I mean, that is a
That's amazing.
Three-time winner here.
That is
and you look,
That
doing
is.
a nice job, right? Back in Charlotte. He was all the way back in 19th, and he has made it.
Yeah, I applaud Kyle Busch for everything he said this weekend, honestly.
Now currently 25 points above.
Me and Kyle Busch, surprisingly, are on the same page about a lot of things. When I hear Kyle Busch say stuff, I'm like, shit, that's exactly what I would have said. I think that's why I've softened on Kyle Busch over the last couple of years. I'm like, God damn, me and him have a lot in common.
Information as far as what he needs to do to position himself on pit road to be able to get in and out of the box.
Learning with every lap and every
Busch, Hamlin, Reddick, Bowman.
Marcus.
Robert, good luck keeping up with that forecast. Like I said, it's changed multiple times. Like yesterday, it looked like it was definitely going to rain there today. Now, every few minutes, it's changing. What's that shit the boomers always say? It doesn't matter where you live. A boomer says this. Well, they always say, you don't like the weather around here? Wait 5 minutes. It's like, yeah, we know.
We get it.
That applies to places like Florida and the Southeast in general. But boomers will literally say it about anywhere. We're probably in one of the worst spots because North Carolina is like, we get extreme heat in the summer, and then it snows like fuck in the winter. So we're like in the worst possible spot, other than Florida, maybe. At least in Florida, you know it's always going to be fucking hot. You just don't know if it's going to rain or not. I'll go back and get more food. I can't decide. My favorite location. See, I'm still young, so I'm good with this. Anywhere where it snows a lot in the winter. I love the Northeast, but I understand when you get old as fuck and you're living in like Connecticut or Massachusetts, snow becomes very fucking dangerous. Like you slip and fall and break a fucking hip. So, but until I get to that point, I love snow. I love cool weather.
That caution is brought to you by the one and only Leaderboard Racing.
Top prize. DJ also winning here at Atlanta, claiming that championship. So much history in this racetrack. As we continue on.
Kyle Busch has about a second lead on his brother.
Here at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
I knew Kurt would be good here today. I didn't realize he'd be this good.
NASCAR scanner for only $2.99.
Bowman's fast now too.
Pit strategy, spotters, communication, crew chief calls, everything. Visit NASCAR.com/scanner to start.
Starting to think I should have made Kurt Busch one of my picks. I should have went all Busch brothers.
Out front. His brother is closing the gap. The older brother, Kurt Busch, about a half a second back now. Those two painting that green line on the bottom of the track here. Get a few updates. We'll start with Dylan.
Chase Elliott's hanging on in 20th. He ain't regained shit after this pit road mishap. Bowman, third place from Hamlin now.
Chicago, two places that we no longer race at. So Greg Ives, his crew chief this morning, kind of said tongue-in-cheek that Alex is the track killer, with this being the final race here in Atlanta before the reconfiguration.
Yep, he is the track killer.
Before it is reconfigured, for the simple fact that this is
That's why I should have picked him. He won the last race in Chicago. Dover's lost the race. He just won there. California, they're going away with that track, making it a short track. Bowman's the track killer. When he won at Richmond, I said, uh-oh. Kyle Larson, 8th place. Kyle Larson been between 6th and 8th all race. Larson said his car is draggy. Whatever that means.
Everybody expected him to be the guy up front today, Dave, and right now he's not.
Marty, the Hendrick car that started on the pole today, that was Chase Elliott in the 9.
Come on, Chase, you're getting passed by Bubba.
Remember what happened?
It's fucking embarrassing.
Down pit road, had an issue with his brakes, was surprised they locked up as he was turning into his pit stall. He had to back the car up and lost all kinds of spots. Restarted in the 25th position, has made up 6 spots since then. But it's going to be a slow pace back to the front for Chase Elliott. Guys, you know, you don't just go and pass cars here at will.
It's difficult. Sure.
I've been to New Hampshire 3 times. Twice for races and once for a Kiss concert. But I like the weather up there, Michael.
There it is, the Harvick line.
And what he means by that is he's staying lower on corner exit.
Thank you, Junior.
Staying connected to that apron, using that paint as a little added grip.
Told you in NASCAR 2005 on certain racetracks I dip my tires on the apron to get you sideways and it'll help you turn more. When I run IRP on NASCAR 2005, I'm always dipping the left front on the apron.
You just sort of roll around the bottom here. And those guys up in the top are sending their cars into the corner a lot harder. They're really leaning on those right tires, sliding them across the racetrack. It's faster, but it's going to eat the tire up on the long run. It's going to hurt you on the back end.
Kurt Busch just called his brother. Truex in the top 10. Failed pre-race twice. You know he's a bad man today.
And he's worked himself up. Doesn't right now have race winning speed, but
he'll get there by the end of the race. Truex will be a factor by the end of this.
Yeah, and I think if you're James Small, you feel pretty good about this game from 37th to 10th. But Truex has been saying the entire time it feels like it's floating the nose really bad when I'm
His car's floating and Larson's car is draggy.
overall. So Steve, if it's floating the nose when you're in traffic, what are you going to do to adjust on it if you're James Small at the next stop?
Well, it's hard. A lot of those adjustments have to be done. You talk about shock absorbers and controlling the front. The easiest,
You know, I'm not going to lie. I kind of wish it would rain. I need a break. I'm tired.
And I can add a little bit of tape. That's a front down force. That would help in and out of traffic. So, but, you know, something that you would definitely could adjust on a pit stop. But that's the challenges of Atlanta. You know, you can't just lock these cars down in a great aero position because the track's so rough. You end up skipping the tires over the bumps.
Truex Jr. up into the top 10 now. William Byron in front of him in 9th, but it's Kyle Busch and Kurt Busch that are now negotiating through lap traffic.
Well, they're in lap traffic. Usually that hurts the leader, but I think it helps Kyle Busch.
Straight away to the next car. But this is the opportunity where the guy in second has a chance. That leader's
Well, it's unfortunate Kyle Busch isn't lapping Joe Logano yet.
That's his opportunity to try to find
But,
that leader in a compromise.
yeah, good news. Joe Logano's 6th, so he shouldn't have to worry about it.
Change the complexity of the race. Earlier this year, when Kyle Larson got in traffic late.
He looks like he's fast enough like he could lap up to 6th if it ran long enough. But
Dave.
Busch Brothers show right now, isn't it, Rick? Younger brother Kyle leading older brother Kurt in the one car. For Kyle's sake, remember, we take a quick look at Kurt right here. 3-time winner at Atlanta and 30 starts here. The experience that he has is almost second to none. He's still fifth on the all-time on the active drivers win list here. So Kurt has made his way to second place. Meanwhile, Kyle.
Chris, you want to know how mad I was at the end of the Xfinity race? You can ask my stream people. I wasn't mad. I was apathetic. As soon as it was like, oh, all right, I'm out of here. See y'all later. The race literally went exactly as I predicted. Even after Hemrick got in the lead, I was like, oh, yeah, he's going to get fucked so bad. And then Kyle Busch will still win anyway.
A little further back in the pack, Ryan Blaney won this race in the spring.
So I just sat there and said, see, told you.
You know, this track, Steve, I would imagine that the difference in the track tip between the spring race and this race is large, and teams had to make some decisions. How much to change the cars from the first race to this race? I mean, right now we're seeing, you know, Larson not running as well, and also this car, 12 car, Ryan Blaney not running as well. Dylan.
And Jeff, they felt like they were making gains on the race car.
Atlanta in July is still a bad idea. They just got lucky that it's cloudy today. Cloudy and like 78 degrees or whatever it is, like 80 maybe.
Super tight now. Ryan came on the radio, said a little bit ago that feels like we're going to cord the right front if it keeps up this way. So biggest adjustment that they're going to have to make is taking the one out that they just put in the race car the last time down pit road.
That made me think they were talking about that. I was like, wait, what? Taking the one out?
What is that?
Yeah, because then you still got to deal with the 18.
Talk about a track that really depends on mechanical grip. That track temperature from March to now, a big change. The setups are going to have to manage it.
Atlanta next year, what's mechanical grip?
He talks about cording the right front. 29 laps under green right here. 16 to go in the stage. Rick, these drivers have to manage their tires to finish this stage.
Somebody's going to be slowing at the wheel. NASCAR Cup Series racing.
Kyle Busch leading.
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and say it. Blaney's going to be the one to blow it.
So, Karen, it's funny you mentioned Kyle Busch in 2008. I tried so hard, Dylan. From 05 to 08, I was like, man, I like Kyle Busch. I think he's going to be really good. I like this dude. I don't know why he gets a hard time. 2008, he made it real easy not to like him anymore. By being a fucking dick. And it wasn't... Okay, so 08 wasn't that bad. 09 is where I think Kyle really became the dickhead that he is today. And like he just became a complete piece of shit asshole. So I was like, yeah, fuck this dude. Like, I tried to like you, but you're an asshole. Because I used to defend him. From 05 to 07, I defended him. Because he really wasn't doing much. And he wasn't doing anything bad. Whiny little fucker, but, like, not the asshole that he is now. As soon as he got away from Hendrick, he just became a dickhead. Because I think at Hendrick, you can't get away with that. But they dumped his ass. So
Get out of here.
about it. Chicken, my brother? Take a piece. Or two. Split them with me. Alright. Pretty good today. At least it was to me. About to say, help me eat it so I don't eat it all. I had cookout last night. I had an extra order of cheese bites too. I was like, give me an extra order. We got to cookout in like 20 minutes. And was back at my friend's house that fast. I don't know how. It's like there was just no traffic and there was nobody at cookout. So it's like in Shelby, cookout, back. I was like, damn.
That's lucky.
Yeah. Another reason I was trying to get out of here at the end of that fucking race yesterday. I wanted to go to cookout. Yeah, I saw Paul Tracy's fat boomer ass whining last night. I'm sure he had a full night of watching foot porn to feel better about it, though. So he's probably doing better today.
2 weeks to the Olympics.
Oh, boy.
In July 23rd, live from Tokyo. That's on NBC.
Tokyo. I don't guess I'm ever going to get to go see a Kiss concert in Japan. That's something I always wanted to do.
Right now, Kyle Busch out front.
Kiss is really big in Japan and Australia. I was like, I'd love to go see Kiss shows in Japan and Australia. It ain't never happening now. The band will be done before we can go over there again. Kevin Harvick, 11th. Long run speed, I told you. It's just in years past, on the short run, he'd be a 7th place car, but now he's like a 15th place car. His long run speed gets him in the top 10. Larson, Byron, and Keselowski are nose to tail for 7th, 8th, and 9th.
One of the fastest, 5 fastest cars on the racetrack. And is this, my question to you, Jeff, is this where that pays off for Kevin Harvick? The very end of the run as we're coming 9 laps together.
Ryan Newman pitting.
Here before the stage ends. Is this where that pays off for Harvick? Saving those tires his entire run. Here at the end, he's one of the fastest.
Wonder why Newman pitted.
Saving tires, 9 to go in the stage. Ryan Newman on pit road. No way, this is a scheduled stop, Rick. This is basically tire issues. Look at the right.
He had a flat tire.
Rolls right there, the fabric.
Ryan Newman had a tire coming apart. It's amazing how they can feel that in the car. Uh-oh, it's coming apart.
He was running 17th, so 8 to go. I'm not even Kuchi, but I just got nervous, Jeff. 8 laps. I mean, how can his tire be worse than mine? And look at that right there.
That's what I think.
This is completely unwound here, and you can see.
During the next commercial, I'll show you guys the track surface that they're racing on. Because TV doesn't do it justice. You got to see the track surface at Atlanta up close and know how fucked up it is.
Catches that fabric and it unwinds like a ball of yarn. Let's listen into the one of Kurt Busch and his tire thoughts.
Yeah, I just did something to the tires. What lap are we on tires? Wow. It's a B32, but it didn't have a heat cycle on them. That car just got to simmer down here and see what the car will give us.
We talked about experience.
Kyle Busch drove away by 2 seconds as Kurt Busch got scared that he was going to lose a tire.
Drove up to within a second of the leader. He's running second. I don't care if you slow down a second a lap. Just give me 7 more laps. I don't want to pit under green.
Yeah, that's, we're hearing these drivers talking about being hard on the right front. It won't turn. That's a recipe for a disaster on the right front tire. You're asking so much of it at this racetrack. And handling matters, right? We talk about saving tires, the driver saving tires. Well, guess what? The best setup saves tires. I mean, that's really what helps. The driver doesn't have to push the cars hard to make good lap time. That's easier on tire wear, keeps tire temperature down.
Yeah, so we mentioned different cars. Well, after that competition yellow during break, we asked the pit reporters, and Dave, I asked you which tires had issues. You said the inside of the 9's right front had a little bit of fabric, and all day on the radio he's talking about not being able to get the car off the right front like it's tight. This is got to be concerning for the 9.
That's exactly right, Steve. Hadn't said anything on the radio.
Boy, Chase Elliott is junk right now.
They did make a big adjustment. They took a spring rubber out of the right rear to try.
Good thing I got 2 picks today.
So he wouldn't abuse it as much, but he does say again during this one, I feel like I've killed it. So we'll take another look at that right front. But yeah, some damage when they pulled the first set off.
The tire fall off is so bad. I just saw Chase Elliott fail to reach 170 miles an hour at the end of the backstretch at Atlanta.
Turning better. There's only so much he can do. He can't burn the right front off it.
Well, you see, he's back out there and allowed Bo Wallace to go back by him, so he's backed his pace down enough to hopefully save the tire to get to the end of the stage.
Somebody's gonna blow one and eat the wall.
Not backing down is the 19 of Mark Truex Jr. He goes by Keselowski. Truex Jr. in the 9th spot now. It started this race at the back of the field after failing technical inspection before the race twice.
It's funny when I look out the window, Rick, there is a distinct difference in pace. There are some cars out there that want nothing to do with the last 4 laps. They are nursing these cars to the finish.
And the driver, you're terrified. I mean, this is the time in this run.
Chris, when you said that, it made me think of fucking Jimmy on Ed, Ed, and Eddie. I like raccoons. They wear little masks, like robbers.
You have to just ride it out.
Under 3 to go in stage 1. Steve, you told us this at the top of the show. They weren't going to be able to make a whole fuel.
Harvick needs to get that coveted stage point for 10th place.
Jeff just say that the fear. Well, Kyle Busch is out there.
Kyle Busch with a 2.5-second lead with 2 to go.
Of Eric Almirola, you see him he's 2 cars in front of that red car of the 18 of Kyle Busch. The anchor has come out on the 10, and I feel bad for Eric, right? He's either fighting a little bit of ill trying to stay in the lead lap, trying to get those tires to the finish. I mean, this is 50 laps on these tires. I mean, look at this. That's 171 miles an hour on a set of tires. You know, you're not sure how much tire is left. I mean, it's obvious.
Larson, 7th place, the whole damn stage.
I don't want to pick on these guys. They are working so hard, but they are hard.
The 48's legit the best Hendrick car today. 48 is fast, but ain't got shit for the 18 or the 1 or the 11. Chris, I'm like that too. Sunglasses and a mask. This pandemic was the best thing that ever happened to me. Cover my face. And I had enough free time over the last summer to drop 85 fucking pounds, so just because I was bored off of work for a couple of months. Kyle Busch wins stage 1. Kurt Busch, who's racing for a fucking playoff spot, gets 9 points. Hamlin 3rd, Bowman 4th. But unfortunately for Kurt Busch, Tyler Reddick gets points too. He finished 5th. Followed by Larson, Logano, Byron Truex, and Harvick. Kurt Busch is going to have a really good chance to win this. They just have to stay ahead of it. Their problem is they don't adjust as well as the other cars do throughout the race. That's always been a problem with Ganassi cars. That goes back years ago with Ganassi. So if they can just keep up with the 18 and everybody else, they'll be all right. And hope that the 19 and the 4 don't come alive, because if they got into this, they'd be done.
I would like to see Harvick running.
Yeah, I'm at the point now, like, if Harvick wins, wow, good for him, you know?
That's what I'm saying. Same thing with Danny.
Yeah, I got to show you guys this picture Jeff Gluck tweeted this morning. A few pictures of the racing surface at Atlanta. Gee, I hope some skank doesn't pop up on my Twitter feed and get this video removed forever. Okay. No, it was Paul Stanley complaining about Conor McGregor. That's something I never thought I'd say in my lifetime.
What does he not complain about?
Paul Stanley? I know. If I can read his book. If you read Paul Stanley's book, there's like, okay, so there have been like 10 or 11 different guys in the band Kiss. Out of those 10 or 11 guys, Paul likes like 2 of them. Maybe 3. He likes Tommy Thayer, Eric Singer, and Bruce Kulick. Because they just seem to shit on everybody else in his band. So yeah, just in case you guys didn't see this morning, this is what the track surface looks like. It's like a gravel road with chocolate icing holding it together. There's the seams that they run on. That is a literal fucking hole. That's like a divot in the racetrack.
Uh-oh.
I've been waiting for that to happen. Because it happened at Daytona before their repave. It happened at Martinsville. I keep waiting for a big chunk of this racetrack to come up and fucking go through somebody's car. I've seen it happen at other places. I'm surprised it hasn't happened at California yet. We get one more race on old-ass California before it goes away forever and becomes a short track. The best rock band ever. Except for the band I like the most. There's so many. Van Halen. And specifically, and I'm going to sound like a snob when I say this, specifically Van Halen from like 1976 to like 1984. The original run of Van Halen. It's hard to get better than that. The greatest American rock bands of all time are like Van Halen, Kiss, Aerosmith, Guns N' Roses.
Heading into Atlanta Motor Speedway was the resurface of Atlanta Motor Speedway, which turned into a little bit of a reconfiguration. Track hadn't been repaved since '97. We all knew the repave was coming. Well,
I wasn't even in kindergarten the last time Atlanta got
repaved. Do all that
repaved.
work. We're going to increase the banking a little bit. We think that'd be better for racing here.
Yeah,
Make
right.
some tweaks to the banking and the width of the track.
I like Slayer. I love thrash music.
And not all the stars
I love fast, heavy metal stuff.
Danny Hamlin, 2 drivers that were pretty outspoken about they don't love the idea. I'm gonna respect their opinions as drivers, but at the same time, I'm gonna be very open-minded. The Roval wasn't really loved early by testing, and it puts on great races, right? So I love the fact that our stars can speak their mind, but I'm even more excited about the Smith family who owns Atlanta Motor Speedway's commitment to NASCAR.
I like Slayer because Dead Skin Mask is one of the best metal songs ever.
The future is great for NASCAR and great for the city of Atlanta.
Yeah, we're fortunate to have a company that wants to reinvest and rebuild this racetrack and reinvent it. A lot of concern about the width of the corners. Well, that's the same width as Daytona, the same width as Charlotte. So I don't know why there's a concern about that being too narrow.
Jeff Burton, just sit in the booth and shut up. If Jeff Burton was still driving, he'd be the first motherfucker to complain. I don't know what the fuck Jeff Burton's thinking. Jeff Burton was one of the most outspoken drivers in his day. And yeah, the race off pit road today is going to be really interesting. We saw Chase Elliott's whole race go to shit just now because he lost so many spots. Hamlin barely beats Bowman out. Now it's all about where does Kyle Busch come out. I think Busch is going to easily hold the lead here. Or not. Kurt Busch takes the lead. Kurt Busch takes the lead on pit road. Not a lot of change. The top 10 stays the same. Just Larson dropped 2 spots. And Busch gave up the lead to his brother. Replaced Jeff Burton with Ward Burton. These goddamn cars all over the goddamn track. Cat skid steer loader. Cat skid steer loader. The funniest part of that interview is when Ward Burton says, I needed to go to damn speeching school or speeching school. he said I need to go to damn speeching school. I wish I had something I could have shot through the window. That's what he said about Junior at Bristol one year. He apologized recently because he says he loves Junior to death, but he was mad. And Junior fucked up, spun him out at Bristol, and Ward Burton was mad as hell. Said, I wish I had something I could have shot through the window. And here how clear-spoken Jeff Burton is. He's got a very clear voice, and Ward Burton going to talk like he's got a mouthful of shit. I love Ward Burton to death. I think Ward's a better driver than Jeff. Jeff won more cup races and had more success, but he was with more stable racing. Jeff Burton was with Roush and RCR. Won races. Ward Burton drove for fucking Bill Davis. They won some races here and there, but they were never a serious championship threat like Burton was at RCR and at Roush. But I do think Ward was a better driver than Jeff. And I think Jeff is a very good driver. Yeah, the joke that the Burton brothers always say is that Ward Burton says, no, I was raised in the southern end of the house, and Jeff was raised on the northern end of the house. Actually, the biggest difference was, I heard Ward talk about this on the Dale Jr. Download, their upbringing, even though they were brothers, they were raised very differently. Like, Ward's the older one, and he was raised in the outdoors, basically, like hunting and like all that shit. And then Jeff was kind of like babied by their mom. And then their parents got divorced, and Jeff spent more time with the mom. And Ward, at like 16 or whatever, moved out and literally lived in a cabin in the woods by himself. So they had like very different upbringings, how they were treated. Jeff Burton ended up leaving Roush because I remember in 2004 there was like no sponsorship. And I can't remember who it was that had a quote back then. There was some lower level car owner that said it speaks volumes when a team like Roush and a driver as good as Jeff Burton can't get sponsorship. This was in 2004, and Jeff Burton couldn't get sponsorship, and he ended up out of the 99 car. And then Carl Edwards came in, and they had sponsorship for him somehow, but they couldn't get any for Jeff Burton. So yeah, when I play NASCAR 2005 and I see that Jeff Burton's still in the 99 car, I'm like, oh yeah, because like halfway through the year, Carl Edwards takes that over. But when the game was made, Jeff Burton was still in the 99.
Yeah, John Rosselli, front tire changer, the 41. When we watch this replay, watch the contact to the tire there. And then bam,
oh, yeah, I saw that before the commercial. I didn't realize how bad it was. Chase hit a tire off the 41 and knocked it into a crew guy. Hit in the back with a 70-pound tire, Dylan. I bet that feels good. How big are those tires? They weigh like, what, 50 pounds or something? I don't know how much they fucking weigh. They weigh a lot. You got one thrown at you, it's going to hurt. Ask that dude in the grandstands in Daytona that had Kyle Larson's tire come and hit him in the fucking face in that Xfinity race. Yeah, Carl Edwards was an upgrade over Jeff Burton, but still. Elite Burton landed on his feet. He had some good years at RCR. People forget how solid Jeff Burton and Kevin Harvick were as teammates at RCR. And Boyer, too. Boyer had a great 2010, 2011 at RCR.
Everybody takes pit stall once. Man, tire spin is a big issue here. I didn't think I could get out of that box. I wanted to be in the other one. He probably felt like he could have a better chance of getting in and out. He also mentioned how you always have...
So we got the Wright Busch brother in the lead now. We got Kurt Busch who got the lead on pit road. Kyle Busch outside. Reddick Hamlin on the second row. Then Logano and Bowman behind them.
Kyle Busch on the outside of the 18. Start 4 of Kevin Harvick come to pit road just before this restart.
He was running 10. There's a lot going on with that crew member, but...
Watch this push through 1 and 2 from Hamlin to Kyle. He got him a little loose. You see that? You guys remember at Kansas when Larson tried to push Blaney through 1 and 2 with like 3 laps to go? Good God. Logano on the bottom, Blaney in the middle, Byron outside. They were almost 4 wide. The 48 just barely stayed clear in front of those guys. Kurt Busch gets away with the lead for now.
Hard for those guys on that bottom groove to make any headway.
Bubba's up to 12th. Bubba must have had a phenomenal restart.
Because it's starting to look a little bit more ominous to the south, and it's moving this direction.
And Rick Allen just said there's rain moving straight at the racetrack from the south. And we're nowhere near halfway's lap 130. We're only at lap 89 this time. So hopefully that rain gets there before then.
Not enough grip for him to take the 5 car to the middle. Here comes Bubba Wallace to the inside down the front straightaway. He has a run.
3 wide. Larson, Bubba, and Logano for 10th. Pass that racist there, Bubba. Pass that racist Kyle Larson. Yeah, Bubba. End white supremacy. Bubba Wallace just passed Kyle Larson. And Reddick's going for second on Kyle Busch with a push from the 48.
Second away from Kyle Busch.
Wow. Kyle's car didn't fire off worth a shit on this run because Kurt Busch is driven away and Tyler Reddick's moved into second. Rain to the south. We're 40 laps from halfway.
Kurt Busch and Tyler Reddick should be first, second. That would be considered an upset. These two guys are having really good days.
So I guess I'm cheering for the 48 car today. Or if I want money, the 11.
Question mark will be out there because of the sale of...
Man, I hate that there's weather threatening. Why can't Kurt Busch just have a race to himself, not have to worry about rain? Reddick got loose. Busch got his nose under him up off of 4.
Tyler Reddick went to the bottom there and got a little free. Kyle Busch is going to try and take advantage here and get the second position. But give a tip of the cap to Reddick and also Randall Bernard's crew chief.
Yeah, I remember Las Vegas in the Nationwide Series when Kyle Busch basically wrecked himself and gave Jeff Burton the win. Reddick holds off Kyle Busch. Busch made a run at him for a lap and a half, and Reddick held him off. Kurt Busch's lead got a little bigger there. 48's passing the 11 for 4th. We have rain coming, according to Rick Allen. I'll take Rick Allen's word for it. If the announcers are talking about it, you know it's real, because they'll do anything to not talk about the rain to get you to keep watching the race.
Really, really well. Tons of grip.
Is this like a track to be surprised?
Able to make that pass. Getting back to the inside, though, down the back straightaway. Just not enough momentum off the top.
Kinda. I'm surprised Bubba's in the top 10.
Because I see it, really, it's just a lot of more the faster guys.
Screenshot the ticker and send it to a boomer. Bubba's in the top 10. He was ahead of Kyle Larson. So the rain should be in and out pretty quick if it does even hit. Yeah, and what the fuck happened to Truex? He was 9th before pit stops. He's 17th now. I have no idea what happened. He restarted in the top 10. I guess he just didn't get a good restart because the top 10 stayed the same off pit road. Just Kurt Busch took the lead.
And guys, another guy who's having a strong run so far here in the early goings of stage 2 is the 23 car, Bubba Wallace. You see him.
Joe Logano's racist. He's trying to pass Bubba for 10th. Stop being a racist, Joey. Let him have the spot. Bowman just passed Kyle Busch for 3rd. Busch is making a run back at him down the back. He goes to his inside, gets the quarter panel. Sends it hard into 3. Bowman's going to have it wound up coming off the high side here, though. Busch can't hold the bottom. He's so loose. So the 48's going to keep the spot here. 3rd place. Yay, Kyle Busch is fading into obscurity. 3 Chevrolets, good Chevrolets. Busch, Reddick, and Bowman. What a top 3. You know Chevrolet's back on track when the 1 and the 8 are the 2 leading the race.
That's what they were looking for in the 23 this year. Improvement from week to week to week. And I think we're starting to see that now, a little bit past the halfway point of the season.
Kevin Harvick's dropped back to 23rd. Harvick and Truex both restarted in the top 10. It is. Bowman's going for second. I'm sure these guys are all looking up going, oh, that's the Hendrick car that's going to kick our ass today, because the 48 just moved into second. Because the 5's only, the 5 and the 24 are okay, the 9 is junk, but now the 48's come to life here. I should have fucking bet on Bowman. Yeah, Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch have fell off a little bit. Still top 5 though. Got a second over Larson, who's behind them in 6th. But the 48's coming alive. And he's got a vibration. Well, you're going to pit halfway through the stage anyway, so just make it 20 more laps and it'll be good. I bet guys will pit before halfway through the stage. They'll be pitting at like lap 35 or 38 because I don't want to be out there in them old-ass tires. Let me look at the weather now. I'm going to get on my phone and see for myself. Because I follow like a race day forecast weather Twitter account that's really good. Keep me informed on the weather.
Oh, man. I really don't know. Deep down, I want Kurt to win, but Tyler Reddick will be awesome.
Man, look at that kid getting given die cast just because he's a fucking kid. I wish somebody'd give me some fucking 124s.
Yeah.
Sail to the south is weakening, but there's still potential for rain. So that little bit of rain to the south is breaking up. Vortex theory, I'm telling you. We need a long green run. That's what I said.
Trying to run around here at 210 miles an hour because if they don't put plates on it, you're going to be going way too fast. Just think about it. Everybody needs to just think. Ain't nobody thinking.
That was Kyle Busch talking about the new Atlanta. Missed the first part of it, but his thoughts were basically my thoughts. Nobody hates PJ1 more than me and Kyle Busch. That's exactly what I was like. Kyle Busch literally said everything I was thinking all week long. That little smart-ass snipe at iRacing there at the end of that interview is my favorite. Kyle goes, oh, simulation, though. They got it figured out. Now the boomers are going to be really upset because now iRacing is affecting the actual racing in a negative manner. Oh, man. These are strange times we live in. A fucking video game is determining what we're going to do with a real racetrack. A real racetrack is being affected by what they saw in a fucking video game. iRacing's not a video game. Yes, it is. It's just a really advanced video game. I love it. Don't get me wrong.
The Open Championship, that's next Thursday. Sunday on NBC.
John Menard spends money on sponsoring everything instead of giving raises. You got a point. Is that Tyler Reddick and Kyle Busch side by side for position? It sure is. Reddick going for third on Kyle Busch. Can't get it though.
He will get in front of the 8. We'll see how the momentum works here.
Busch holds him off.
Kurt Busch out front. Alex Bowman running second.
Kurt Busch's lead's gotten a little bigger. It's about 2 seconds now. Bump draft down the back at Atlanta.
Reddick ran right up on his bumper, but didn't try to move around him.
Bubba still in the top 10. Well over 15 laps into this run. Bubba, well, no, Logano just passed him. Never mind. Bubba in the top 10 is over. Probably never to be seen again the rest of the race. Chase Briscoe quietly in 12th, having a good day.
Contact. Well, here it is. You see 3 wide, leaving his pit box.
Ooh, oh, that's what happened to Truex. Truex and Harvick hit each other on pit road. They both came out in the top 10, but had to come back in and pull their fenders out. That's why Truex and Harvick were so far back. And they never showed that till just now. So there you go, Michael. There's your answer.
It's so difficult, right? You just don't know where the dent is. A lot of travel, a lot of bumps here, a lot of opportunity for the car to have an issue.
Chase Briscoe is the best running Stewart-Haas.
Chase Briscoe in 12th place, best running Stewart-Haas car. Here comes Larson into the top 5. He's working on Hamlin. Hamlin is fading pretty bad now. Don't let 2 of them get in the top 5. Yes, it's your one day to beat a Hendrick car. Now there's 2 of them in the top 5.
This is the Kyle Larson we expected to see today. Here, the car much better on this run.
They probably brought a car here anticipating it was going to be hot as shit. And now that they've had time to adjust on it, it's better than it was early in the race. That's why Larson and Blaney are doing better now than they were early in the race.
I can tell the fronts are working now. We're in a much better position. It's showing with lap time. It's showing also.
You know, they got the raw speed. Logano's on pit road. This ain't scheduled. This is too early.
Joey Logano on pit road right now. And guys, I am not entirely sure why.
Too early.
We will check the tires.
You can make it on fuel from here to the end of the stage, but your tires won't.
From them last time he was down pit road. But Joey working with a setup he hasn't run here before.
It would have to happen right now.
That's what I'm saying.
If Truex had good equipment his whole career, would he have more wins than Harvick and Busch? That is a good question. I don't think he would. Well, he'd probably have about the same as they have. He would be like at 50 or whatever wins. Because think about Truex's career. DEI, when Truex became a full-time Cup driver, the team he was driving for was a fucking mess. Because DEI was a joke. And then he went to Michael Waltrip Racing, a new team that was just trying to like learn how to win at the Cup level. They finally get stable there. He loses his ride. They boot him out. He winds up in the 78. And the first year he's in the 78, they were awful. So, yeah, I think Truex lost a lot of good years being in tough situations. DEI sucked. MWR was a brand new team, basically. And Kyle Busch's car's come back to life now. He's about to blow by the 48 on the outs. Not this lap, but the next lap. He's going to blow by the 48. Hell, he might get him this lap. He got a hell of a run down the front.
Was vibrating, and just heard from Travis Geisler, the competition director, there was a left rear that was the issue that brought Joey to pit.
Joey had a left rear going down and had to pit under green. And we're not even close to halfway through the stage.
Here's the gap getting closed now.
Let's see what kind of run Busch gets off of 4 here to get by Bowman. Just about 5 or 10 more laps, guys will start pitting.
That's really going to fuck with the rain strategy.
Yeah. We're 20 laps from halfway. There might be rain, but not enough to probably end the race.
Trying to get to this guy, trying to figure out how to create the momentum. You see Kyle Busch using the top to do that. Down the back straightaway, he's going to have the run to be inside.
Yep, Kyle Busch back to second now. He dropped all the way to fourth. Now he's back up to second. Long run speed. Look at how fucking slow that 53 was. That is just unsafe. Remember how bad it was at Charlotte with the slow cars? It's even worse here. I thought Charlotte, when I was at the 600, was one of the worst races I'd seen for slow cars getting in the way and being dangerous. But Atlanta, it might be worse. 50 to go in stage 2. Bubba in the top 10 again because Logano pitted for a flat left rear. But he's in the top 10. Yeah.
That sounds familiar.
Joey almost has no choice but to just run the stage out and hope he stays on the lead lap at the end of the fucking stage. That's going to be a lot to ask.
53 laps on his tires.
Yeah, these guys are going to have about a 15 to 20 lap fresher tire advantage on him. And he's probably just going to have to run to the end of the stage and try to stay on the lead lap at the end of it. He's fast right now, though. I bet he's really fast right now. There's Austin Dillon trying to get in the top 10. Austin Dillon proved just what a shit driver Michael Annett is yesterday by hopping into one car and running top 5 immediately.
From the rear.
I did say Austin Dillon is just a better driver than Michael Annett. That's one of the few times I'll compliment Austin Dillon. He is a much better driver than Michael Annett. I'll give him that. And now he's in the top 10.
I
Well,
think he's okay.
racist Austin Dillon just put Bubba out of the top 10.
I think Austin Dillon's okay. I don't think he's horrible, but
He's a decent driver. Austin Dillon's one of those guys because of his name. He's hanging around for 15 or 20 years, and when you race that long, you have to know what you're doing.
I feel like
after so many years.
Cup ride by now.
Yeah. When you race, he's almost like Paul Menard. I think he's like a step above Paul Menard. I think Dillon's better than Paul Menard, but when you have his level of experience, you are going to be good at some point.
Yeah.
But the truth is, you probably should have been out on his ass a couple of years ago. He's somewhere between Paul Menard and Jamie McMurray. McMurray's better than him, but Menard's not. So Austin Dillon's somewhere right there in that creamy center. That creamy middle. Much better than the guy he's racing with right now. No offense, Bubba. I'm sorry. And Bubba's about to lose a spot to the most overrated, overvalued driver in NASCAR, Matt DiBenedetto. And I like DiBenedetto, but you guys know by now my feelings on DiBenedetto. I don't see what the big fucking deal is about him. I get it, he's a good dude.
Yeah, there's Truex.
But there's nothing special about him.
Truex is going to blow by all these guys.
That just shows you the difference between Gibbs and Stewart Haas right now, because Truex was right back there where Harvick was, and he's already getting back close to the top 10, and Harvick's still running back there. And yeah, we know Michael Annett always fucking sucked. How do I feel about... You know what, buddy? It's funny you mentioned that. I think the next time the trucks race at somewhere like Knoxville or Eldora, they need to shorten the field. Them heat races need to eliminate about 15 trucks from the main, because they had a 40-truck field at Knoxville. It was too many. So I think if you cut the field down to 24 or 25 trucks for the main on a dirt race, it would have been better off. But they don't want to do that. I know why they don't want to do that. But maybe it's something they need to look at next time. Shorten the truck field at Knoxville to 25 after the heat races. Give out bonus points for the heat races, so at least the guys show up and get a few points. But to race in the main, you should have to advance so far through the heats. You know what I mean? 40 trucks was too much. A lot of that could have been avoided.
Wow, if Kurt wins, that's a big
Will someone
lead
decide
for
to
Reddick.
stay out on the racetrack hoping to get a lucky rain shower, or will they stick with their plan and pit under green, Dave?
I'm pitting under green because this rain, if there's any rain, it's not going to end the race. It's not going to be enough to end.
But not too soon, that's right. Don't want to,
So they are going to run a little longer than they want because just in case it rains.
So Kurt has been managing the car.
Yeah.
Guys like Kyle Busch.
Well, think about it. Remember the last time Kurt Busch was in the lead and rain was threatening? Justin Haley, Daytona. And they're like, all right, we're going green next time. So Kurt pitted, and then the lightning struck, and Justin Haley was the fucking leader. So Kurt should have won that race because of rain, but they pitted a lap too soon.
So you don't want to come under green, right, drivers? As much as you want new tires, the last thing you want to do is roll off pit road and see the caution. You know you're behind.
We got William Byron coming on the pit road right here. I think that's scheduled to stop as well as Matt DiBenedetto.
Oh, it's decision time, right? Do you think it's going to rain or not? Dylan.
24 William Byron is in, kicking off green flag pit stops here. He reported that he was just a little bit too tight chassis-wise on that run. He was tight last time. Crew Chief Rudy Fugle opted to make just some air pressure adjustments. I think they're going to take a bigger swing at it this time down. Marty.
Jonathan Hassler making the call to bring Matt DiBenedetto down. They've had a terrific
What are we doing, Ozzy?
top 10 for much of the day. Matty D has been very happy.
Byron and Matty D pitted. Hamlin pitting. Blaney, Kozlowski, Bubba, who was in the top 10. Starting to rain.
He said that's why he's surprised when people
It's not going to end the race. I say you just got to pit here. Remember that if it does end the race. If rain just keeps coming and keeps coming, remember that. We're still 10 laps from halfway. But it's starting to rain a little. Kyle Busch to pit road, Bowman, Larson, Harvick, Austin Dillon. I'm not gambling on a tiny little rain shower.
Yeah, Kyle Larson on pit road again. Said the car worked much better that run. Drove into the top 5. Alex Bowman also.
I wouldn't mind a red flag. I need to go to the bathroom. And notice Kurt Busch and Reddick stayed out the longest. Now Kurt Busch pitting and Reddick's pitting, so there we go.
track bar and air pressure to help him get that car turned.
9 laps from halfway. It's not happening.
Stand any longer. The team brings him to pit road now. The driver of the one car. See if he hits his marks perfectly. Yes, a little damp maybe on pit road, but just scattered sprinkles right now. Didn't really need too many changes in the car, although a little bit free as he entered the corner. So slight air pressure adjustment to keep up with that. 4 Goodyear tires and a Phillips Sunoco fuel. He's out of here.
Christopher Bell, last time by was scored as race leader. Mark Truex Jr.
Bell, Truex, Custer, Almirola, and Priest have not pitted yet. Now Chastain's on pit road.
Ross Chastain on pit road.
Having a decent day as well. His teammate Kurt Busch leading most of this event here so far today. And he'll get his 4 tires in late too, Marty.
Mark Truex Jr. on pit
Hey,
road.
buddy.
We talked about them coming down to fix that
Ozzy.
damage earlier, Dave. When they came down to fix the damage, they put on a new set of Goodyear tires, so they were able to go just a little bit further than everybody else here. And speaking of the rain, it has let up a little bit here, so we might get through this entire green flag cycle with everyone coming and the rain not coming.
So according to Marty Snyder, the rain has let up. There wasn't much. It's just sprinkles. You can still kind of see it on Austin Dillon's onboard.
Now the current leader. There's still 38 laps to go in this stage. Running along with Austin Dillon, looking up there.
Joey back
Ryan Keselowski.
That's when he had to do it.
Austin Dillon running in the 14th position, just behind.
Joey Logano would win a race because of this, wouldn't he?
Almirola now the race leader. With Ryan Priest running second. Kurt Busch has been.
Almirola and Priest are hoping in about 6 laps it starts pouring. We're still not halfway. We're at lap 124. I don't want the rain either, but it would spice things up a little bit.
Both have led more laps today than they
Kurt's
led all
still going to be the
season.
leader when this cycle's through. Kyle will be about 2 seconds back in second place, and Bowman will be third. But that'll be after Almirola and Priest pit.
You mentioned Kurt Busch will be leading once everyone has cycled through their pit stops.
Yeah, Bowman's right there with the 18.
Fastest lap.
Kurt Busch has a nice gap over Kyle and Alex Bowman.
Last lap, 168.866 miles per hour compared to Almirola's last lap.
Kurt Busch's average lap speed on fresher tires is about 8 miles an hour faster than Almirola, who's on old tires. Of course, if you drive a Stuart Haas car this year, it's like you're 8 miles an hour slower than everybody else.
Almirola is telling him it's raining a lot.
Oh my God, Almirola swears it's raining. I don't buy it.
126.
Almirola's another guy. Karen, I know how you hate Almirola because he always wins like this, but Almirola's another guy. He would be one to win off of this bullshit. Ooh, it looks pretty on that camera there. I'm just saying. Rain's picking up. It's starting to rain a little harder. And even if the caution comes out, they're going to ride under caution and get to halfway because we're coming to lap 128 now. Junior said, yeah, it's pouring if you're in the 10 car. I'm starting to see it on the other cameras, not just the onboard. That tells me that it's starting to fucking rain. Remember, I don't know if this is going to be enough to end the race, if it even gets to this point. He's only got about a 6 second. Kurt Busch is going to catch him soon if there's not a yellow. Yeah. Yell at Ryan Priest.
We've seen it all race long, that 48 car fire off on those new tires. Working that bottom really, really well.
Kurt Busch got it under fire. Kurt Busch better drive like hell here just in case.
Trying to get that clean air.
Kurt Busch can catch him in the next 2 laps.
Get slower at the end of long runs, maybe.
Bowman just passed Kyle Busch.
I think I'm pulling for Ryan Priest more than I'm
Bowman's faster than Busch early in the run, and then Kyle really takes off later. Kurt Busch pretty consistent. God, it looks rainy, guys.
Here comes Ryan Priest in the 37.
But they ain't thrown a yellow yet. I think NASCAR is trying to let Kurt catch him and then throw the caution.
Well, he said that he thinks NASCAR's waiting on more drivers to say so.
Yeah. And I also think they want to see Kurt Busch cycle back through and get in front of him before they even think about throwing a caution. Kurt Busch has it about 3.5 seconds behind now. We'll be halfway next time by. That's all we need. I remember 01 Atlanta. I was watching that race with my mom and dad.
unfortunately, you can see just how much slower the 10 is leading the race than the 43, the 7, the cars that have fresh tires easily too slows at the 10 and drive off.
You're this far into this game.
We're halfway through the race.
See it through. Unless the radar clears up, then you just got to pit.
Yeah, he's almost, once he gets caught.
Well, as soon as Kurt Busch passes me here, I'm pitting, so.
That strategy goes out the window.
Well,
Kurt Busch has got it down to about a second and a half behind these guys.
Never lets up. The race just became official.
Still 6 back, 41, running up top.
There you go, halfway that time. I mean, this is a car that arguably doesn't think they
There's
can
Kurt.
playoffs on point. I mean, you know, why not? I mean,
Almirola has no chance at making the playoffs on points. He has to win a race.
Somewhat even with the house. The only thing they know is to put all their chips in and hope the thing goes his way.
Here comes Kurt. And Priest is going for the lead. Ryan Priest led that lap, but here comes Kurt Busch on much fresher tires and a faster car. So Almirola's dreams are over. Priest's dreams are going to last about one more second here. And Kurt Busch takes the lead. So we've cycled through pretty much.
And so it is. Kurt Busch out front. He has the fresher tires now. The 37 and the 10. Really no reason to stay out.
Yeah, they just got to pit now. They'll go a lap down. Oh, well. I figured even if it was bad, they were going to wait till Kurt cycled through to throw a yellow. Like that tire bullshit at Kansas. Let pit stop cycle through to fuck Chris Buescher just to get the 5 and the 18 and whoever back up front for the yellow. Yeah, you know, Michael, I wouldn't mind a little rain. I need to go to the bathroom. Oh, well. That was a tense couple of minutes there, though. Thank God for the difference in tires, or that would have been even worse if you're rooting against Almirola or Priest to win. So at least we got the race in today. We are past halfway, no matter what. It's in today. Thank God, because I got to work tomorrow. Old Burt Cush out front. Kyle Busch in second place. Bowman's passing Priest. I can't believe Priest and Almirola still haven't pitted. I guess they're just hoping for a yellow now. Yeah, if they catch a yellow, they're at least going to get top 5 or top 10s. Or if they go back green, they're going to get to pit with the leaders and be in the top 10. So that's why they haven't pitted yet. But they're ruining this. Bubba would be in the top 10 if it wasn't for them.
Kelly's still 13.
Yeah. There's racist. They're just trying to keep Bubba out of the top 10. There's damn racists.
Well, I realize
now Priest pitted.
Like after watching for a while, like top 15 and top 20s ain't really bad for certain drivers.
Yeah.
Like if Kyle Busch finishes 14th, they're like, what the fuck happened? Like Cody Ware finished 14th, he'd be like, what the fuck?
If Corey LaJoy finishes 14th, it's like, holy fuck. What a day. We're back. Still green. We have survived some sprinkles. And Kurt Busch is your leader. Rain on a lot of the cameras, but it's pretty much mostly held off.
It might have been raining a little bit in turn 1, but I think you're over in turn 4. Probably clear skies up there, right?
Oh, Rick, I'm up on the high side. It's beautiful up here. We got
Michael, how much money did you just put on Kurt Busch? He made a bet during the race.
We're at the very top, hanging with the Coffee family. This is a family. They live here.
First of all, who gives a fuck about these people? Hey guys, Rutledge is talking to some dumb hicks from Georgia. I know you're excited.
Mr. Coffee, I gotta know, what's it like to live here year-round? These places are beautiful.
It's awesome. We downsized about 4 years ago, and probably one of the best things we ever did.
I don't care.
Everybody has a lot of fun.
Now, Miss Coffee, you're like the racing mom that
If you see it in the background, you can see cars going around in circles. There's kind of a race going on right now.
We love it here. It's awesome living here. If you're a race fan, it's wonderful. Even if you're not a race fan, it's wonderful.
Fascinating. Living at a racetrack is fun, Dylan. Gee, I wonder who their favorite driver is. Why don't you ask them what their fucking favorite color is while you're there, Rutledge? Who gives a fuck? I follow somebody on Twitter who lives at Charlotte, one of the condos. Up in Turn 1.
Keep this camera. I want to see the one too.
That high side works when you can stay in the gas. Sometimes
Looks pretty clear now.
that wall wraps around really quick. You have to live there. It kind of takes away all that advantage you're trying to create. It's been making it work. It just got by.
Wow, that interview with those fucking hicks up on the roof was really necessary.
He's been making this high line much better pace than when he's on the bottom.
All right, drivers, how uneasy are you?
Yeah, we're at 20 to go in stage 2, and Kurt Busch has a 4-second lead over his brother.
You and the driver are going to see those drops on the windshield. How uneasy
Old
does that
Kurt
make
came
you
to play today.
still traction in this racetrack?
He's trying to make Chip go out a winner.
The place so porous and so rough that even when it's damp, there's a lot of grip out there.
Pull before you go.
I mean, it's a slick track, but it doesn't get worse when it gets a little damp, a little bit of a drizzle like this. I think they can race through it.
So many Chevrolets in that top 5 and top 10.
Take a lot of water to really get this thing to where you lose the racetrack is the term they like to say. But right now, the cars going around the track.
If Kurt Busch wins, you get $37.
They're keeping that groove dry, keeping it warm. They're running all over the place. So as long as the cars are moving around there and the rain doesn't pick up anymore, I think they'll be okay.
Have 16 seconds on the 10.
Junior, you mentioned the Jimmy Brewer break. The Canadero Camerola finally did.
Oh, yeah, and Kurt's in an odd-numbered car. That's his other bet.
That's good because second, third, and fourth is even.
Yeah.
Listen to how much longer he's out of the gas on the
I love they take bets on numbered cars.
Had to get him to 3 and 4 and just tons of discipline. Hit your mark, be perfect on speed. Now up here he just kind of hustled the car.
Chase Elliott, that racist Georgian, just passed Bubba Wallace.
You see him changing lines and Bubba doing the same thing, trying to fight.
Quit passing Bubba, you racists.
To the left front took a little extra time a couple of pit stops ago, and that seems to have helped. Alan Gustafson thought it would, and Chase is now driving back toward the front. We'll see how far the pole sitter can get.
A-Shock joining the 19. Different paint scheme there for Chase Elliott.
What's a lap
here
time
in
on
Georgia?
I don't know anymore because they're so slow. I really don't.
I love listening to the throttle as he's trying to work that top, in and out of the gas. Dave, we got him.
Sun's starting to come out over turns 1 and 2. You see that? It got really bright over there all of a sudden.
For Kurt Busch has been outstanding. This was the green flag stop that they just made, and you can see the artistry here and the choreography that they had. It was a very smooth stop, and even though he wasn't the first one to pit, he did get back to the lead there. That's a kudos. Also, remember that one caution, they came down pit road not in the lead and left in the lead. 2 of their fastest 7 pit stops all season have come today at Atlanta.
Kurt Busch's team is on it with their pit stops.
Tires, adding fuel, making adjustments.
Real athletes, amazing the work they do.
Oh my God, Bubba's name is listed on something that's near the playoffs.
Kurt Busch wins this race. Clearly, that puts him in the playoffs as a winner. He came in at this point.
I pissed off some boomers this week because coming into this race, Bubba's ahead of Matt DiBenedetto in points. And I was like, hey, boomers that love Matty D, Bubba's ahead of him in points.
Points behind. He came in 25 behind. Chastain would be 148 behind.
Keselowski just passed William Byron for a position in the top 10. Sun's starting to come out again. All over. Now it's not just 1 and 2. It's sunny in 3 and 4 now.
Jeff, the other thing to look
I
at
can
is
see
Tyler
clearly
Reddick
now.
101 above the cut line. Last week at Road America, nobody in the field gained more points in that race than Tyler Reddick. Today, having another solid top 5 run. They haven't been out in the top 5 all day.
How do I feel about 2 races a week, but shorter races? I liked all the double headers last year, buddy. The Pocono, the Michigan, the Dover, the Charlotte, the Darlington, all them double race weekends or weeks or whatever. I really enjoyed that. course, after not having NASCAR for the first 2.5 months of a pandemic, when they come back and have like 3 races a week, it was like, yes! That was a great time to be watching racing. You had so many races going on.
As well, that organization. And again, Kurt Busch out front here.
Towards the end of this stage, I'm going to have to let Dylan take over because I'm going to be in the bathroom for a little bit. I'm waiting till like 5 to go in the stage. Then I'm going to go in there. Handle this business. Yeah. Fuck yeah, Karen, now you're talking 3 races a week, but make them 800 miles each. Wear these men out. They want to complain about that Atlanta reconfiguration. Make them race like 2,400 miles in 1 week.
I think they should do 1,000 miles at Charlotte.
That's what they get.
To do 300 laps at Sonoma the next day.
I'm still waiting for a 24-hour race at the Roval. We'll go to that, get a hotel, and go sleep at one point during the race. Sleep right up until the start of the race, and then maybe halfway through, go take a nap, come back.
No, watch the whole thing.
Watch the whole thing. I probably could, but I'd feel bad for everybody else. You would watch the whole thing. See, that's the thing. We just have to prepare and sleep like all day up until like it's about time to go to the race. Yeah. 24-hour race on the Roval. 800 miles at Pocono.
Oh, I wouldn't watch that.
1,000 laps at Bristol. Good God, you want their arms to fall off? 1,000 laps at Bristol.
Pocono, I'd watch the last 3 laps.
Oh, man.
I'd watch the 2 cars that would finish that race after running.
The 12 hours at Texas. God, no!
No, I got a better idea. How about 500 miles at Atlanta with 2 sets of tires?
500? That's not possible. Okay, actually, no. 500 miles at Atlanta. That's the scheduled distance. You give everybody 2 sets of tires. The last guy running wins, because you wouldn't make it to 500 miles, but the last guy running wins. How about that? Boy, I wish we could, like, do stuff in NASCAR games where you can, like, create game modes and shit. I'd do some goofy shit like that. So you got 2 tire changes. You got to run 500 miles at Atlanta. Go. I would be going, like, barely enough to stay on the lead lap just to save my tires and make it to the end. Make it as far as I can. And the NASCAR and the new Heat games, like Heat 4 and 5, I'm really good at saving tires now. I'm really good at saving tires in the old games, too. Basically, in the old games, if you're hard on the brake or going, you're using up the tires.
Drivers continue to work hard here at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Look, they're working hard, but I'm about to go work harder in the bathroom. So, Kurt Busch has like a 5-second lead. I'm going to the bathroom. You know the deal. Mute during commercials. Read comments. Talk to the people.
At 66 laps to get in the middle
Talk
of
to
that
the people.
pit stops. The radar currently
What's up, y'all?
a little bit. We're seeing a little bit of sun peeking through as this stage coming to an end.
Man, watching these guys drive. Look at Chase Elliott. He is so loose on corner exit, turning to the right. Off of turn 4 and off of turn 2 this last lap. He lost 3 spots in the last 2 or 3 laps. Drove up into the backside of the top 10, and now he's fell back outside the top 10 into 15th place.
Now Busch won stage 1. Let's listen into his radio as he runs second here.
It's tighter on the front side. I think we've heard the splitter. We lost downforce. It's not going to turn us good. We got to find some front steer here. We got to get it off the splitter with steer. Can't lose the back.
Steve?
Sounds like they made a height adjustment either with air pressure or packer or rear round. Something about, he feels now that what they did didn't help enough on the splitter. They need to go in a different direction. That's the tough part about this place, drivers, right? It's so rough on new tires. You have to hit the splitter, but how much and how much can you stand? Because it's just going to be high as the tires, grow over the life cycle of a run.
5 to go.
Something I heard him say, Steve, was we hurt the splitter.
Kurt over Kyle, 4.5 seconds.
Off to where now you won't ever get that downforce back. Is that what his concern was? I don't know. Or is it just he's on the splitter too hard? But now led me to believe he was afraid that they would never get that downforce back because they've worn so much of it off.
Hey, Jeff, he used this phrase. He said, we are so on the splitter. You're killing it. So those were the 2 things I heard him say about the splitter, how hard he was hitting it.
Yeah, so probably on it too hard to go on new tires. And Jeff, to your point, maybe doing permanent damage, changing the shape of that under area, very important for front downforce and sensitivity.
This is perhaps the worst track for that, because when you do run that bottom and you put that left front tire on that line that we've been talking about, like Harvick does so well, it puts the splitter on the racetrack, and it really is easy to eat through the left front of that.
Watching
Truex and Harvick battling for the top 10.
Inside of the back, the top 10 here. Truex
4 to
takes
go.
10th spot. Now Harvick takes 11th from Byron. Harvick and Truex both gaining a few spots here to get inside of this top 10 to close in on the end of stage 2.
Neither one of them had flown back through the field since they had to pit after that. But
Buddy, because he's the best road course driver.
These long runs,
That's why.
That's what Kevin Harvick needs. He needs long runs for this race to work
Kyle's
out.
got it down to 3
Really
seconds.
fast at the end of them.
3 to go.
Joey Logano is in jeopardy of going a lap down here at the end of stage 1 as we see Denny Hamlin working to the inside of Tyler Reddick. But right there in front
Truex
of
and
Kurt
Hamlin
Busch,
battling
the
for
race leader
5th.
is
Or
22 of Joey
Reddick, I'm sorry. Truex 10th. Remember Rick, more laps on those tires. He was the first one to hit pit road with that loose left rear wheel. Kurt's closing in to put Joey a lap
They stay
down.
on the lead
2 to
lap.
go.
Coming up on 1 to go for Kurt Busch. Here in stage 2, Denny Hamlin working the high side now, trying to get by Tyler Reddick on the bottom
Coming
of
to
your
the white
screen.
flag.
See if Kurt Busch wants to cut Joey Logano a break, or if he wants to try to put him a lap down so he has to take the free pass.
And this is important for Tyler to try to race for this position. He's right there at that cut line. The playoffs, so he has to work hard. I don't know if he'll keep it right here. Denny's going to have big speed off the corner.
Did that tell you as far as Kurt Busch coming to the back of the 22 and not going by him?
Looks like a nice move from a veteran to a veteran.
Kurt giving it to Joey,
So
letting him stay on the lead
stage
lap.
2 winner, Kurt Busch.
Kurt Busch wins the
brothers
stage.
have swept the stages here at Atlanta.
Kyle Busch second.
Stage, Kurt Busch wins the
Alex
second
Bowman
stage.
third.
Kyle finishes
Kyle
second
Larson
in
fourth.
stage
Denny
4,
Hamlin
Alex
fifth.
Bowman. Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, the top 5. Third stage win of 2021 for the driver of the 1, Kurt
Reddick,
Busch.
Blaney, Keselowski, Austin Dillon, and Truex. The rest of the top 10.
Points adding up for Kurt Busch. A win obviously would secure a spot in the playoffs, but every point you can gain helps get you to that point.
Yeah, I think Kurt's got it won, Michael, so you should be good on the odd numbers.
I'm back.
I didn't forget this time.
You know, even though Kurt Busch is dominating, I feel about as much confidence in him winning as I did Hemrick yesterday. I knew Hemrick wasn't going to win.
Oh, yeah, answer Buddy's question.
What, Buddy?
I answered it, but I figured you probably said the same thing I did.
How can Chase Elliott win at every road course? That's like, what's the meaning of life, you know?
You know what I said?
What?
Because he's the best road course racer, that's why.
He's the best road racer in NASCAR right now. Larson's in 4th now. So I missed that while I was in the bathroom. Logano.
Kurt pulled up to Joey to put him a lap down and got on the brakes. And
Wow.
they said that was a veteran move. He put left, gave him the spot to keep him on the lead lap.
So Kurt Busch wasn't watching Larson let Joey stay on the lead lap when he let Chase have his lap back earlier this year, and then it came back to bite his ass later when he had to lap Joey again, and Joey wouldn't fucking move and cost him the race.
I mean, Kurt had a big run
Yeah.
and pulled up to the back of him, and I mean, he cut his lead from.
You know what Kurt's probably thinking, Kurt? Okay, so he wasn't thinking this, but think about it. If he laps Joey, Joey's going to get the free pass to start at the back and probably get lapped again. I'll just let him stay on the lead lap, get up there so I don't have to worry about lapping him for a while. Because Joey's got a decent car, so...
Plus, Joey might think about it later and be like, hey.
Nah, he won't. Joey's not that kind of guy. If you give him an inch, he will not thank you in return. He'll race you 10 times harder. So, I like when they're like, oh, the drivers do each other favors. Joey ain't gonna do you no favors. So what if Kurt let him stay on a lead lap? Joey.
I guess that's just Kurt.
Yeah, yeah, it's just Kurt being nice. But yeah, we'll have to see.
Kurt to the 2, confirmed.
Never.
Kurt to the 2. He's teammates with Joey now.
Kurt Busch is gonna make nice for Roger Penske and come back and drive the 2.
America's Got Talent. It's new Tuesday on.
That'd be a fitting way to end his career. Never gonna happen, but it would be a fitting way for Kurt to end his career.
And you're watching NASCAR Cup Series racing on Atlanta this telecast.
Come back to Penske and not be a fucking ass.
Joey goes on his radio and he's like, hey, I wish this guy was my teammate.
Rick Corey LaJoy is running the colors of
Michael, you got 5 odd-numbered cars in that top 10 now.
You got the free pass here, but remember when they first announced this paint scheme for Corey? He brought his 1-year-old boy Levi there because he was so darn cute, and he also kind of liked the boss baby. Corey told us that before the race, and Levi's at home watching with mom and making sure that his dad does the right things today because he's the boss.
I like this one. It's like a Friday the 13th character.
Is that Jason Voorhees when he's a little kid and drowned in the lake? That's what that looks like on the side of that car.
So this is it.
As pit road is open and anticipating.
Stage 3 cancer. I mean, stage 3.
That includes Joey Logano, who finished 21st in that second stage.
Everybody pitting. Kurt, Kyle, Bowman, Larson, Hamlin, the top 5. I had an emergency, so I didn't get to watch Kurt Busch win the stage by 5 seconds. Let's see what Larson's got in his third stage actually starting up in the top 5. That's why I'm not confident that Kurt's going to win, even though Kurt's dominated the race. I feel like either Bowman, Larson, or Kyle's going to win. I don't even think Kurt's going to win. Hopefully he does, but I have been wrong before. Good stop for Kurt. He's going to beat his brother out of the pits by a nose. Kurt Busch keeps the lead. Kyle Busch second. Bowman third. Larson fourth. Reddick fifth. And now we race. Stewart Ross alternates between good and bad years. Think of how many races Harvick would have won if from 2014 to 2017 he didn't have so many fucking mechanical failures every time he was leading a race. I think Harvick is somebody who has been fucked by mechanical failures more than anybody. It was like a 3-year period. And then finally in like 2018 or whatever, they finally had everything go right and he won like 7 or 8 races that year, whatever it was. And then last year he won 9. But there were several years. Harvick should have about 4 years in a row of at least 8 or 9 wins a year, which is insane. But they used to have a lot of mechanical problems, and they'd get beat by Jimmy Johnson because fucking Harvick would suck on the short run and Johnson would catch a late caution. It happened at Atlanta. I've seen it happen there before. Happened at Texas. Happened at Dover. Happened at Fontana in the past. Harvick getting fucked on short runs and losing to somebody like Jimmy Johnson. Go to Twitter, see what they're saying about the weather again. It's starting to look lighter in the sky. Thank God this race is only 400 miles. It's been kind of a snoozer. Denny Hamlin. Jeff Gluck said, penalty, Denny Hamlin speaking his mind before the race. But actually, Denny did just speed on pit road, so sorry. Denny Hamlin too fast on pit road. He was due for one of those.
Denny, can we have your thoughts?
I've heard drivers say that when you say stuff like Denny or Kyle said this week, that's they get you back, slip you a penalty that's kind of iffy. Oh, you were 0.00000001 over the limit. That's a penalty, buddy. You got to go to the back. You know, they'll slip you one of them.
Kyle said the track was damaging his splitter.
Not surprised you saw the fucking... I showed you the hole. There was a literal hole developing in the racetrack this morning before the race. Read this tweet, Dylan. Almirola leading with rain in the area.
At full only.
It's a picture of a blue sky.
And by Coca-Cola. Together tastes better with Coca-Cola. Now let's go back to Rutledge Wood.
You know, there's tons of history.
See, there's a beautiful thing that can happen in NASCAR sometimes, Dylan, and we kind of saw it earlier. I love a race where there's a chance of rain, but it never actually rains. Because when there's a chance of rain, they start driving like fucking maniacs. But then if that rain holds off, you're like, yeah, I saw a good race today. It's happened at Talladega before. It was like, oh, it might rain. Oh, God. And they start racing hard, then it never rains. I've seen Pocono races like that before. 2016 comes to mind. It was like, oh, it might rain. And Junior, Chase Elliott, and Kurt Busch are racing the fuck out of each other because it just might rain. You don't want it to rain, but I like having a little threat of rain. This race is almost perfect for that.
Any of those movies? Yeah.
Still been a boring fucking race, but at least Kurt Busch is dominating.
For sure. Okay. Multiple times.
Somehow Stenhouse is still running.
You haven't seen either of those. Yeah, we got to figure that out.
Not okay. Not okay. On a side note, Run, I think that tunnel was unlocked. I don't know why you didn't go down in and check it out. See if there's anything.
Robert just said, I'm done. Because Denny spit on pit road. Right at the start of stage 3, man. I'm done, too. That lost me a fucking shot at $11. And Chase ain't running worth a shit either.
Good. The 11 on pit road speeding.
We know. Found out on Twitter.
This season. So Denny Hamlin.
Who got screwed by NASCAR more? Oh, God. I said the other day that Casey Kane, Carl Edwards, and Matt Kenseth are like the trifecta of drivers who have been fucked over the most by NASCAR's bullshit.
Do a little bit of track cleanup here.
Oh, they got to fix a hole in the track. We got a hole in the track. I told you it finally fucking happened. I said there'd be a piece of the track come up. Yeah.
That's asphalt coming. That's a big problem.
Yeah.
So now we're going to ride around under yellow fixing this fucking hole and it's going to rain.
I mean, you said yesterday during the broadcast that chunks of the pavement could come up. I mean, here we go.
Make the track look bad.
I'm pretty sure that's right where that picture was taken this morning. It was on a seam on the front stretch.
Kept putting it off, and it's just gotten to the point where they absolutely have to pave it.
They have to pave it. I've said that from the very beginning.
So right here on the front straightaway in the dog leg, right before the start-finish line.
You were watching your Stroker Ace movie because you couldn't see out the window.
Trying to get
Figures they'd wait till after I take my post-dinner dump to possibly red flag the race, but
that looks like it. So you jump in the gas at the Geico and then go through the pothole. It's going to be a tough spot to avoid.
What lane is that in? Outside or inside? I'm picking the lane where the hole is not. Well, right now they're just standing around looking at it. That'll fix it. It's like a bunch of guys pretending to fix a car. Right there's your problem. They're just standing around looking at it. And we got another. There's 2 holes on the front stretch coming up. Got to red flag it for at least 10 minutes. Oh, Christ. Can it just fucking rain? Now NASCAR's going to use this to be like, see, we have to reconfigure it. It's like, no, you could just repave it. You don't have to fucking mess with it. But NASCAR's happy that this is happening. So they can be like, look, we got to do something. How about we just go to single file restarts on the bottom and just avoid that fucking hole? Put an orange cone over it. Junior made that joke when the hole came up at Daytona in 2010. They're sitting under red flag, and Junior goes, I got an idea. Why don't they just put a fucking orange cone down there, and we just got to dodge that the rest of the day.
Most recently, maybe, I guess, at Daytona.
Weird that it's happening on the straightaway. You would think the hole would come up in the corner where the loads are.
It'll take a minute for it to be applied and for it to dry.
But these 2 holes popped up in the front stretch here.
They don't figure out a way to make that.
I wouldn't be surprised at all if they went out there with a drill this morning and made that fucking loose so it'd come up so they go, see, look, we're doing the right thing next year. And we are under a red flag. Now be a good time to keep an eye on the weather in Hampton, Georgia. Make sure if you look up weather, you're looking up the weather for Hampton, Georgia. Not Atlanta, Georgia. They're in Hampton, Georgia. Awesome. Red flag, but it's not going to be a long one, so I have to sit here and suffer through it with you guys. I could have waited to take my dump. Really, I couldn't wait. Is that a sign that you're getting old? You can't hold it worth a shit anymore? Worth a shit. That's a pun. I didn't even mean to say that. Yep, we're certainly under red flag now for a fucking hole. Just think, if they'd have repaved this place 3 or 4 years ago, like they said they were gonna, we wouldn't be getting fucked up Atlanta next year, and this wouldn't be happening right now. It's not gonna rain the rest of the race. Well, that's just fucking dandy. We got a 400-mile race at Atlanta, and it started at 3:30, and now it's gonna end at the same time of the 500-mile race because we got this fucking delay here in the middle. How much you want to bet they fix that fucking hole and it breaks up again, just like it happened at Daytona in 2010? Oh well. Cue the fucking teeny boppers that just started watching NASCAR a couple of years ago and believe everything NASCAR tells them, going, see, y'all boomers, y'all old people are fucking stupid. They gotta repave it. It's like, we know they gotta repave it. You don't have to fuck up the entire damn racetrack there. Weather. Hampton, Georgia. Yeah, the weather looks good now. It's probably not going to rain. Although, in the next 15 minutes, it says there's like a 50% chance of a storm. But if they make it past this one, then they're probably okay. I'm about to look at the radar now. I just looked at the hourly. Now I'm looking at the radar. Whatever fucking loads on my phone. Okay. Oh, it's right there, Dylan.
All right, you racers, you've been looking forward to this next.
It just might rain again.
Playoffs and Lobster, they're on the line for the Cup Series in New Hampshire. It's going to be the race team.
I'm just glad Kurt Busch is leading if this goes south and it's over.
Calling the race. That starts at 3 p.m.
Michael, I'm with you. Rain out. I'm fucking bored. Tired and bored.
There's also going to be another.
And Kurt Busch is leading, so.
Place on the 8th, and for more on that, here's some of our friends.
I can't walk the streets of Nashville.
Yeah, they're talking about the Nashville Grand Prix IndyCar race. Same day as Watkins Glen. It's after the Watkins Glen race.
Hello, Cheryl Crow. Mario.
Good God, Cheryl Crow's really starting to show her crow's feet. I didn't realize she looked that old now. She's not like Faith Hill, who is ridiculously attractive for a woman who's actually probably in her 70s. I'm kidding, she ain't that old, but you know what I mean.
What a day of racing that will be. Again, that's August 8th. The Cup Series will be at Watkins Glen. And then IndyCar Music City.
We're just going to sit here and wait for them to fix this fucking hole or wait for the rain to come, whatever happens first. Good thing the one had a good pit stop.
Fun day racing in New Hampshire. You see there, and then what great timing for the end of that IndyCar race.
So right now they're walking up to the driver's windows and handing them bottles of water. Remember that when we were at Charlotte, Dylan, they gave them hot water. They gave them like bottles of water that were probably sitting in the back of a car. Because I remember on Radioactive, Bowman opens his, it's fucking hot. And then you see Kyle Busch take his bottle. As soon as they hand it to him, he chucks it back out the window. Gave him hot water.
I look forward to next weekend, too, in New Hampshire with us in the broadcast booth. We're going to miss you, Rick.
No, you're not.
Oh, Rick Allen's not going to be in the booth next week? Wow. Vacation.
In the right direction, but we're going to have a good time.
Be right back.
Hey, Jeff, see if you could dial up Kurt Busch while we're under this red flag edition and they're working on the track here.
Hey, Kurt, some guys up in the booth. You with us?
Yeah, I got you.
I've always said, race it until the hole comes up in the track. Sometimes tracks get repaved a little too early. This one probably about a year or two too late. So now we got a fucking hole in the racetrack. I'll be trying to take a nap under red flag. Hey, it's Rick Allen in the booth. You got a copy? No.
Favorite track? Tell us why.
The ability to slide the car around, overdrive some corners.
You know, I've been to like, I've been to the racetrack twice where we were under rain delay. Wasn't fun either time. I guess 2017 was not a bad rain delay. because I hadn't been to the race in a long time. And 2017 was the first time I'd been back in a few years. It rained at Charlotte.
180 miles per hour. Did you notice that big crater in the racetrack at 180 miles an hour?
No, I didn't see that. So we're fixing it. I'm more focused on the banking, making sure our car's handling good there. So make sure we get the track.
There they are. They're dumping the symbiote goo into the hole to patch it up. Fucking Venom's going to pop out here. Somebody's race car's going to turn into Venom when they drive over that.
Good luck.
I like that. This Bush guy, my little brother, but I got to keep him behind me. Because they have had some interesting battles between the two of them. Great success in their careers in NASCAR.
That's a big ass hole.
For both Kurt and Kyle Busch. So the track repairs.
That's going to create quite a bump in the racetrack. They're going to have to really smooth that shit out.
In endurance racing, there are two.
Yeah, I guess it was just Jeff Gordon that was jinxed because Byron's car didn't get tore up from the hole. Let's see what Twitter has to say about the pothole. People like Eric Easton will be like, they had to fucking fuck up Atlanta. See? Let me read the replies on the official NASCAR Twitter account. The track decided to reconfigure itself early. This is Bush League. Red flag in a race over track conditions. This should never happen. All tracks should be up to par or lose their right to host a race. Calm down there, Boomer. And it's a guy with an American flag as his picture. Why is it always these fuckers, dude? This is on the drivers who didn't want this track repaved. I hope you melt in your cars while you sit and wait. I'm reading actual tweets that are replies to this red flag. Digging for some good ones.
Bang day.
Track repairs getting close now. They're packing in the new asphalt.
I said, just let them race on it. It's training for when they race the Chicago street course in a couple of years.
We heard Kurt talk about his brother.
Does Atlanta have lots?
Earlier,
Dude, we've been racing at Atlanta Motor Speedway for like 40, 50 fucking years. They have lots. Call the race, this guy says. And they took Kentucky away for this? What a joke. SMH. This is the second week in a row I've seen somebody say they're mad that Kentucky's not on the schedule anymore. Fucking amazing. Amazing. What else we got? Somebody put a picture of a bottle of Flex Seal. GIF of Larry McReynolds eating ice cream. Ha ha, repave naysayers. No, we never said we were against a repave. Look at this GIF.
Oh my God.
It's a car driving over a pothole. Shame on this racetrack for not keeping it in good condition.
I agree.
It's fucking 25-year-old pavement with God knows how many 500-mile races run on it. For the record, the drivers are not upset about a repave. They're upset about you taking half the fucking racing lines away. That's what they're upset about. Not a rain delay, DFS. We're under red because fucking 2 holes have come up in the front stretch. 2 craters in the racetrack. And they're having to Flex Seal them motherfuckers back together. So we're just waiting. Waiting. I'm scrolling Twitter for good tweets from people who don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and I found a few. Slap Shoes is there. He actually put a picture of this up 20 minutes ago and said there's a hole coming up in the front stretch because he's at the fucking race. Shout out to you, Slap Shoes, fucking YouTube icon, dude. You make the best videos. And then Jarrett Lundberg posted the video of what I said earlier. Dale Jr. in 2010 saying they ought to just put a fucking cone over the hole and let us race around it the rest of the day. He said that at Daytona in 2010.
With Kurt today, or Kyle today. Watching these guys patch this up. Looks like they've done this before.
Well, they're doing a good job packing it up, packing it down.
Still under red flag condition.
Remember in 2010 at Daytona, they patched the pothole, and then after 5 laps, that shit came up again and had to stop the race again.
That one up here. Hey, Tyler, it's Burton. You got us?
Hey, yeah, I got you guys.
Things are going well so far today. Tell us about your car.
Yeah, the car's been really good. All the men and women on this Akuma Chevrolet here at the track and back at the shop have run a really good registration piece. Just trying to figure out the 1 or 2 small details that we need to kind of get here. Put things into this race so we go up there and contend with 48. I feel like the 5 got better. You know, the 18 and Kurt who've been able to stretch it out. So just trying to figure out what we got
Talking to Tyler Reddick right now.
in our car and maybe not just try and get a good pit stop. So just letting you know as I sit here.
If I was smart, I'd go right to bed after the race.
What part of the racetrack are you? I know you're fast, but you need a little bit of speed. Is there one place in particular you're looking to be better in?
I think the biggest thing right now is just a little bit more versatility. It seems like we get one thing working or the other. You know, in this cup field, you know, you got guys that are really smart and can see that. It's just the way. So just continue to try and be better across, you know, all the lane choices that you have, which are a lot here at Atlanta. And I think that'll help us probably more than anything. So, like I said, hopefully that's one more adjustment away here. Hopefully this last adjustment gives us that direction. But it's been a great day, and just like we're running, hopefully we can have a good race.
Are Matty D and Briscoe in the top 20? Let me look.
Find ourselves in position to go for it.
Early in the race,
Pretty sure they are.
concerned about you because you said you didn't have.
Matty D is 13th, Briscoe 15th, so there you go. Matty D is 13th, Briscoe 15th.
That's the sort of issue with, you know, cool air or any kind of airflow through the helmet, which is not ideal, but the cool suit works pretty good. Once we get up to speed, that's still working thankfully. So if I didn't have that, I don't know. I think I would be in a little bit of trouble, but thankfully, you know, I can open up the next duct in here, get some air blowing to me at times, and get my hand out the window. But
Guys want to play I Spy?
being out much today is kind of saving me a little bit right now.
Are we
So
there
we'll
yet?
see if it gets hotter, but I'm feeling pretty good, honestly.
All right, Tyler. Thanks, buddy, and have a good rest of the race.
Yep. Thanks, everyone. Enjoy the show. Hopefully we can make it entertaining here.
He talks about that cool suit. That's something that I think Jimmy Johnson might have been the first guy to introduce that to the series, but a lot of drivers are wearing it today. Yesterday, when Austin Dillon subbed
We can talk about
one
the
car in the
possibility
Xfinity race,
of
he
Austin
wore
Dillon not making the
an Nets cool suit for the first time. He'd never wore one. I saw him after the race to thank him and say, "Man, hey, I appreciate you filling in for us there." And he goes, "Hey, I'm great. I'm gonna wear this." He's like, "I didn't know if I wanted to get in there because it's really hot, but this cool suit I wore it for the first time, and it's incredible." And he's like, "I'm gonna be wearing this the rest of the year going forward because it's probably the most." It's probably the best thing that's happened to driver comfort in a long time. It's way better than even what you get in the air, the helmet.
I gotta go paint some shit tomorrow.
Only about 20 degrees cooler than the
Man, I'm tired.
temperature inside the car.
I'm just perpetually tired after this last week. We worked a lot.
Cold air. It's not.
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to do it again this week.
Down the street and air conditioner. That cool vest though is absolutely at least probably 40 degrees cooler than ambient temperature in the car. It's a tremendous breakthrough, and it covers your whole torso, and it really helps these drivers be able to withstand cars that I think have gotten hotter over the years. They start to seal these cars to the ground, and things are happening with the way they build the cars. The temperature inside has went up and got more difficult, but that cool suit's saving a lot of these guys.
Hey Dale, you know what's interesting? Kevin Harvick is trying a cool suit for the first time today, and you know I talked to him before the race.
Kevin
He said,
Harvick.
"Hey, man,
Harvick's a boomer, so he's probably very resistant to doing anything new that might help him.
might help."
So it's interesting that he's actually trying the cool suit.
Than people thought it would be today, but then, man, it was hot here yesterday in Atlanta. So I think all the drivers saw that. Austin Dillon experienced that, and Kevin Harvick said, you know what, I'm going to try it for the first time.
Blaney looks bored.
Get out and throw the football.
I'm bored too.
Ryan Blaney and Denny Hamlin waiting for them to go from red to yellow. We've seen the work, the patches that have been done in the asphalt. They're complete. So at some point in time, I'm guessing that we'll see some vehicles run over the top of those. Look at the playoffs, and as they're running,
oh no, Tyler Reddick's
again, everybody in yellow has won a race, locking themselves into that field, that playoff field that everyone is fighting for. And then you see Austin Dillon, Chris Buescher, those guys right there on either
What was my favorite red flag? Probably the fucking jet dryer explosion in 2012. That was probably my favorite red flag. Or Texas in 2002. You guys might not remember that one. Texas in 2002. That was a memorable red flag. So yeah, those are my two favorites that I can think of.
Worked himself all the way up.
2012 Daytona red flag is probably the best though. There was just something so bizarre about that experience.
Goes away. You can stop counting points. Go to the road courses. Enjoy yourself. Try to find some playoff points. Not go to Daytona, the pressure cooker at the end of the regular season. So this trophy for Chip Ganassi Racing, think about the last 2 weeks, right? They here last week, they've been sold to Trackhouse. What does that mean? We don't know as far as the employees, the team, the drivers, so many open-ended questions. If Kurt could come and win this, kind of let everybody maybe settle down and just focus on trying to win a championship, I think it'd be a huge.
Yeah, I think it was Texas 2002.
Great goal heading in to the last 10 races of the season, and obviously helped.
I seem to remember when I was a kid there was a red flag at Bristol for a possible tornado, but I can't remember what year that was. I want to say it was like 99 or 2000 or something. I can't remember.
We knew that it was going to be a lot of work. Did you expect it to be this hard on these drivers today?
Yeah, it was the night race at Bristol, I think.
Difficult racetrack, but the temperatures are a little bit down today compared to what we expected at this time of year in Atlanta. But it's
how's it not air-conditioned booth, Jeff Burton and Dale Jr.? Firing the cars back up. We're getting ready to roll again.
But today,
yep, we're back under yellow.
Some runs they're very fast, some runs they're not, but they are improving, but they're not dominating. So does this mean that everybody's caught up? We'll have to see a few more races, I think, going forward. But I think that it's going to be a battle for this championship. I don't think it's going to be an easy cakewalk for Hendrick Motorsports, and we're already seeing the field get there.
Yeah, I think this is an opportunity day for Kurt Busch, for Tyler Reddick, for guys like that. Alex Bowman, we know he already has wins. But the other thing I'm thinking about right now as a driver is I sat in this car in a red flag situation for a long time. And every time that happens to me as a driver, my car drives completely different when you drop the green flag. The tire pressures are sitting there getting lower and lower. It just never is the same car. So I know it's only one run, but the next change you make is going to be based off of this run that you make. So how does this red flag going to affect the way your car drives? And then the change you make after that can determine if you're going to win this race or not.
It's really cloudy, I think, where I'm at. Maybe it's just my windows because I have my curtains up and everything. Yay, we're rolling again. The choose square block. That's what I'm going to call it from now on. Thank you, Rick Allen. The choose square block.
Actually ran over that box that's just past the start-finish line. And Joey said, why don't they put it right at the start-finish line so that we know exactly where it is?
You know, I've been saying the same fucking thing ever since we started doing the choose call thing. I'm like, why can't it just be the start-finish line?
Being told NASCAR has told the drivers they'll come back with 2 to go. 19 minutes for the red flag.
19-minute red flag.
We have to hope that repair is going to be able to hold up. That'll be one thing.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Junior. I remember 2010 Daytona. That shit just tore right apart.
Come back. Big chunks of asphalt.
Because guys are going to be driving over that at some point.
Around on the racetrack, getting into people's grills, knocking their radiators out of their cars, things like that. It could happen. Could be unfortunate for somebody. Hopefully the repair's done. continue this race to the finish. Hopefully there's not another hole somewhere that's going to develop. I mean, we really literally have stretched this track beyond. I mean, they were talking about repaving it 2 or 3 years ago. And drivers begged them not to, and they said, okay, we'll try to stretch it out. They did more and more work trying to seal this place up and keep this asphalt together. But it's just pushing it too far now.
We get it. They got to do it.
Sealer budget for the seams going up every year. I mean, look at the place.
And they left those safety vehicles out there so that the cars wouldn't roll over that.
I mean, down, look at the place.
Patched asphalt.
That's a beautiful track surface. Didn't I? Yes, I did call this happening. I called it earlier this weekend that this was probably going to happen this week.
You would think it would, not have a lot of load on it, but right here,
Fucking race whisperer over here.
shifting gears, trying to accelerate.
That's why you all come here.
For sure, and having the cornering on him, you just hope that it stays down.
Those are some beautiful eyes, Ryan Blaney. He's got his visor up right now.
That was pretty interesting. Go back and watch replays of it.
Ooh, NBC it, and it's not even football season.
Yeah, that right front for sure had some movement.
It's just actually rough enough anyway that another bump. Well, that's just another one.
Yeah, if that thing happened in Pocono on the straightaway, you'd notice that. That's as smooth as that place is.
So Kurt and Kyle will get
It's the Busch Brothers front row. It's going to be followed by Bowman and Larson.
as will everyone else when they come
Busch
by
Brothers
the
versus
start.
Hendrick.
We've seen that inside line be the preferred line for the control car race leader.
Rick, I've always thought as a crew chief, this was hard for me, right? Like I was in a rhythm, we were racing, I was working with my driver on what we need to do, thinking about strategies, kind of everything was going along. And then even rain, you kind of see it coming, you know it's coming, you're mentally ready for it. This type of red flag, you just had no idea it was coming, and then you just stop down. So now I need to get myself re-engaged, want to make sure my driver's re-engaged, make sure the pit crew's ready to go.
So now the field getting ready to make their decisions. Tyler Reddick actually making the choice of going up high.
In the past, we've seen this racetrack, nobody wanted to run the top, but it's just not been a big disadvantage today.
Busch Brothers front row, Hendrick second row.
Quite a few making the decision to go up high for the restart. Dave?
It's interesting today, Rick, as more rubber gets put into this racetrack, some tire wear diminishes, but other does not. And in fact, Kyle Busch's team told him that last time. The right front that came off of there, well, that was in the process of coming apart. So glad that they got that off. Still have to pay attention to how much you might be abusing your tires, Marty.
Dave, it has been an eventful day for Martin Truex Jr. Remember, started 37th on the field after failing inspection twice this morning. Drove up into the top 10. Then they had the issue on pit road where they made contact with Kevin Harvick. Came in to fix that. Restarted 24th. Drove their way back up to the top 10. Then had a bad pit stop. But Truex has driven his way back into the top 10 once again. Restarting 7th. I think they feel like the car is pretty good. Keep an eye on the 19 for the final few laps, Rick.
90 laps to go.
Got the work cut out for them. The Busch Brothers have been spectacular already today.
Bubba's 11th. I gotta remember there's a race going on here. I was about to fall asleep. No, I wasn't gonna fall asleep, but I was kind of bored. There's the hole. They all miss it. Kurt Busch got a great launch, but Kyle's got a better push from Larson. So if you 4 wide, Harvick, Blaney, Reddick, Truex. Harvick just railroaded Blaney up off the bottom. They're still 4 wide. You can't do that here next year, NASCAR. Bowman into second, Larson third, Kyle Busch drops to 4th. And Keselowski's taking a 3 off Larson. They're still fucking 4 wide. Still 4 wide back there.
Make it look good, boys.
Kurt Busch gets away with the lead. Bowman second, Kyle Busch retakes third from Larson. Truex in the top 5, like I said he would be at some point.
Every one of them drivers.
Now Kyle shoots to the outside of Bowman. Kyle's going to run his brother down here. Damn, he might just pass his brother on the outside. Nope, Bowman got to his door, slowed him down. Kyle Busch looked like he was going to pass both of them.
straightaway with a side draft. And
it's good news for Kurt Busch.
clear him in the middle of 3 and 4 and go after this one car.
Look who's coming into the picture. Kyle Larson in the 5, currently 4th.
Slowly worked on this 5 car to get it better all day long. Seems to have the pace.
Still not where it needs to be, though. Boy, the 48 just ran up on the 1 and got super tight. He was right on him and got so tight. And now Kyle's to his inside.
He got in the wake of that one car.
Yep.
Dragging him back right here. He's got the preferred lane.
Kyle got to his quarter panels and drag him back. Drag him, Kyle. And now Busch slide jobs the 48 out of 4.
Out to the middle of the racetrack. Trying to keep some air on the nose of that car so it keeps turning through the corner as he starts to apply the throttle.
Behind him, Tyler Reddick got a big run on Truex now.
Keselowski 3 wide. Reddick puts him on the apron. Wow. Boy, he had to move up or that was going to be a problem. Keselowski just passed Reddick and Truex for 5th. Yeah, Truex is having a bad lap here.
Keselowski took advantage of both of them.
Marty, what's going on with Kyle Larson?
Bubba's in the top 10 again. He's doing it. Bubba's better than Chase Elliott. He's running 10th. The Chase is running 12th. Oh, that'd make the Boomers crazy.
Could it be the opposite of what happened to them here in March after dominating all the race? They got past with 9 to
Yeah, Lars is trying to win this race in reverse. He's going to run okay most of the day and then steal it at the end instead of the opposite. Well, Reddick's fallen out of contention. Keselowski and Truex have passed him. Nope, he passes Truex back. Not done yet.
Still has his sights set as we see Reddick getting back by the 19 of Martin Truex Jr. Here comes the 12. So Blaney is going to.
I'm really glad Rick Allen doesn't call these races like the iRacing announcer, dude. That dude's annoying.
This day is going on is Ryan Blaney. Dylan, what do you have on Ryan?
Well, they've been really, really struggling with the balance all day. He just came
Kyle Busch staying within about 3 or 4 tenths of his brother.
We saw him maybe run over a piece of that track that came up, and he had come on the
Still got to be thrilled, Kyle Busch. You're outrunning all the Hendrick cars.
tire coming apart, and then they took it off, and there was definitely a chunk missing, so they weren't sure if that was just from where or if that was from hitting that maybe that piece of the racetrack that came up. So a close call nonetheless. They were able to get down here and change the tire under yellow at the end of stage 2, but it's been a trying day for these guys, and they're still kind of making a good day out of it as they run inside the top 10 in the 7th spot right now.
Seeing that Justin, that Magna bend that runs over there on the right side of the car, you see it. He can open and close that. That changes the balance of the car. It affects the arrow on the outside of the car, Leclerc.
Telling you, that was pressure going to that telescope for the last couple of weeks. So glad I pointed it out.
Draw circles, so it was okay.
Yeah. So when he adjusts that, what is he trying to do with the car?
Yeah, so if the air comes in that right side neck duct, you can open
Slowly but surely, Kurt's starting to stretch it out.
pressure for arrow, so it actually just moves it a little bit looser or a little bit tighter depending on the car's setup. So as he goes,
Because I haven't said it enough today, I hate this aero package. This race has been fucking boring because of it. But
the race car's going a certain way, and
still.
you're reaching over there and adjusting it. We heard Tyler Reddick mention it. What did he tell you guys he was doing it just to try to get some fresh air in the car?
Looking at that car, it looks like he has a little bit of damage to the right rear quarter panel. Yeah, you see, sticking out like that? That's good damage. I think that's the kind of damage.
Blaney's right rear quarter panels flared out a little bit.
A spoiler, additional side force to the right side of that car. Now, if you got a tight car, that's going to make
Well, if Blaney wins in that car, you better have the race win die cast with the little quarter panel bent. He looks fast right now. He just passed Keselowski for 6th. And he's going forward. Some speed in the 12 car now.
Adjusting the DACA duct. Maybe the arrow changed because of that damage.
Right by his teammate.
Kurt Busch is leading with 80 laps to go.
Still chasing after Kurt Busch. NASCAR nonstop.
Yeah. One more pit stop, basically. Maybe 2. Depends on what they want to do with their tires. I mean, I say you're just going to split it in half, do one more stop, but
It's going to be hard. I don't know. There's probably going to be some cautions, though.
I hope there's some fucking cautions to spice this up, but I hope they're legitimate cautions, not bullshit ones. Like, I don't want to see somebody get sideways and there be a fucking caution come out. Yeah, we haven't had a blown tire under green today. Guys have picked up on him pretty fast when it gets bad. Personally, I don't know how they tell the fucking difference. It's fucking, this track is bouncy and you're vibrating anyway, but they can still figure when they've got a tire going down, because we've seen that a few times. But I figure somebody's going to blow one under green late in the race, because you're going to pit early here and give up at the end of the race. So somebody will blow a tire by the end of the day, maybe.
You know it's bad when Joey's battling Chase Briscoe. Joey sucks in Atlanta.
Denny Hamlin's 19th. Remember, he sped about an hour ago on pit road. Karen, you got to start sending me some of them cars you find. I'm guessing it was at that flea market or whatever. Anything Dale Jr. that you get for like $1 or something. I want it. Donate to my cause. I need more cars, although I literally don't have anywhere to put anymore. I'd have to get real creative now.
It's by the 187s. They don't take it once from.
118s or something. I saw I got an offer on eBay for a 118 of the black Budweiser car. I'm like, nah, a little too big. I just want the 124, which I thought I had. Oh man, I actually sold it to another guy before you. Here's your money back. It's like, well, at least I got my money back.
Just 75 laps remaining. NASCAR Cup Series racing.
Kurt Busch is leading, but yet I'm still not confident. But I hope he wins. It's going to bust up the playoffs.
Out front, it's Kurt Busch. Dave.
Burt Cush by 1.3 seconds, and it's getting bigger. To be that far ahead of Hendrick cars.
Even that up today, if Kyle stays right where he is. One thing to keep in mind, at the very start of that run, Kurt's car said, I'm on the edge of tightness, but that quickly went away, and he started to gap his little brother again. He currently has a 1.2 second lead over Kyle. Dylan?
And Dave running in the third spot. The best of the Hendrick cars today has been Alex Bowman. We've, of course, talked so much about how these intermediate tracks playing right into their strengths as an organization so far this year. And Greg Ives, the crew chief, viewed this race as an opportunity and viewed it as our race.
Chase Elliott back in the top 10 after about 100 laps or so. Struggling, riding the struggle bus. Passed his teammate, though, to do it. Byron's dropped to 14th. Boy, the depression in Marty Snyder's voice. Kevin Harvick. He's running 15th. Boy, he's shit now, isn't he? Harvick's getting outrun by Bubba Wallace at Atlanta. Harvick at Atlanta is getting outrun by Bubba Wallace. Earlier this year at Phoenix, Bubba Wallace passed Kevin Harvick under green at Phoenix for a top 5 spot. Harvick slipping. Stewart Haas Racing in general. They're all slipping.
More wins than anybody else, and right there, sideways as he was coming out of 4.
Yeah, you can see the back of the car. He just hung out. He had actually passed his teammate Briscoe, and then Briscoe crossing back over. They had quite a battle for 2 or 3 laps. See,
it's not over yet.
Wow, look at how far around that car is. He has got his hands full.
And he's got to be tearing up the rear tires on that.
Can't spin out with these cars. There's so much downforce. They're so slow and there's so much downforce. You can't really spin out with these.
14 of Briscoe. Nice run for Briscoe.
Coming off a real best finish 6 a week ago.
In case you want to know how Harvick's car's doing, he said it's fucking terrible.
Dylan.
Yeah, so you look at the Stewart Haas number 4 there of Harvick, talking about what a bad day it's been for him. I think alternatively for Chase Briscoe, running 14th right now, it's a really good day for these guys. As you said, coming off their career best run of 6th at Road America last weekend, where they really were fast all weekend and continued.
Chase Elliott 8th. They just passed Bell and Keselowski. Chase is fast again. Fast-ish. He's up to 8th.
Wasn't very optimistic about today. So while I know he probably wants to be a little better than racing for 14th and 15th, it's kind of a tale of two tapes. You got one guy in Stuart Hoskin who's not very happy with the day they're having. I think for the other guy, the 14 and Chase Briscoe, he'll take a 14th or a 15th today after the year they've had.
He took that 6th place at Road America last week, but that was a bad race. Chase Elliott won.
Not have the bad luck that they've had to start 2021 off.
Well, and I think that good run from the road course carries forward not just the momentum, but its starting position. So you're right, he started 11th today. So that is, 8, 10.
It was Elliott, Bell, Kyle Busch, Hamlin, and I can't remember who else. But I know Briscoe was 6th.
Yeah, that was the radio from Brad a moment ago. 7 out of 10 loose here. I'm sure that's not fun. He's trying to hang on into the top 10 here. Christopher Bell trying to get the 9th spot from him. You know, Steve, you and I have had this discussion before. Last year with Brad Keselowski, he went to New Hampshire and said, we have to win this race. They feel like that is the best test for Phoenix later in the year. The 750 package, much better for the 2 teams. I asked him about that last week. He said, I have the same philosophy this year. We have to win the race next week at New Hampshire to show that we can still be a championship contender. The 550
Brad would be a good bet for New Hampshire just based on how good he's been there in recent years. I don't care how bad he's running anywhere else. He's probably going to be good at New Hampshire.
It's with only 6 playoff points and 1 win.
New Hampshire's kind of a Gibbs racetrack, though. They seem to fucking own that shit.
As part of the championship 4.
If Hendrick runs good at New Hampshire, then we know. Now, we already know they got their shit figured out. But if Hendrick ran good at New Hampshire, like as good as they've been everywhere else, I would legitimately be surprised based on recent results at New Hampshire.
We've seen races where they've run 22nd, 23rd, like in the low 20s. We've seen other races where you think they're fast enough to win. They just haven't had consistent speed really through the whole year. On top of that, with all the rumors about is Brad Keselowski going to leave, what's he going to do, that's a distraction. There's no way it can't be a distraction.
Yeah, I think that's where most of the pace is, and it's hard to, that's not a tangible thing that, that you can really put your finger on, but when he makes the announcement, or if when the rumors start going around that something's going to happen, he's going to an entirely different organization, his focus goes there a little bit. Once the team's focus goes to where, what's their future, who's coming to drive this car, it's difficult on a team.
It'll be Austin Cindric.
He's a champion. He may be able to find the speed and the pace they need in the playoffs to make this work, but it's not going in the right direction right now. Another guy who's going in the right direction, that 20 car right here in front of Brad, Christopher Bell.
That was a good segue. And the other day, I found a video on Facebook of the worst segue of all time. It was after Steve Burns died. He worked for Fox. Like, rest in peace, Steve Burns. He will be missed. And it was in the middle of a baseball game, and a fucking home run gets hit, and the other announcer goes, well, I tell you what, that ball's going to be missed. It's like, wow. Steve Burns will be missed. And so will this ball.
Race than they did in the spring. This is a new pairing this year. Crew chief, driver, trying to get used to each other with no practice. He said that's been a challenge, but over the last couple months, he started to see results, started to see speed. He was very confident they would run much better this week than they did in the first race.
And I love this paint scheme that Christopher Bell has here, part of the Racing for a Miracle program, partnership between Craftsman and Ace Hardware. Their foundation raising money and awareness for the Christian Miracle Network hospitals, which handle Children's Miracle Network hospitals, raising funds for over 170 children's hospitals that support health of
this aero package sucks. This race is boring.
USA and Canada. So a great paint scheme doing great things for kids around the country.
Oh, but the cars will be so close together with low horsepower. That's why Kurt Busch is leading by a second and a half.
17 of Chris Buescher. The car, very clean. No
and third place is 4 seconds behind that.
Drama. Currently running in 16th position. You know, pretty straight top 10 finishes on mile-and-a-half tracks. When you look at this track specifically, 2 top 10s here in the last 3 Atlanta races. So maybe looking for a little more. But days like today where you just hang around inside that top 10, you have no idea what the last 61 laps are going to hold. Late restarts could fall his way. Just good solid days. You can build on those.
Well, he was. Reddick just passed him again.
We have 61 to go. NASCAR nonstop.
Well, these races are hard to stream because there ain't shit to talk about. Kurt Busch is leading. The end. We're waiting on
the track repavement.
We're waiting on green flag pit stops because Kurt Busch is leading. William Byron running 19th is a bit of a story though. I don't know what the fuck's up with that. Old Burt Cush in the lead. NBCSN. Boy, I'm frustrated by the fact that Bowman and Larson are 3rd and 4th and can't catch the 18 or the 1. It's good when you're frustrated about running 3rd and 4th. Because I'm pretty frustrated. Uh-oh, Kyle's catching Kurt. See, I told you I was not confident because, look, we got a battle for the lead. Kyle Busch has run down his brother Kurt. I don't know if it was lap traffic or if Kurt had a bobble or whatever was going on, but Kyle's run him down, and he looks faster than him right now. And I was just saying how frustrated I am that Bowman and Larson are 3rd and 4th. Last year or the year before that, I would have been beside myself with joy to be 3rd and 4th, but now I'm frustrated that we're 3rd and 4th. Kurt's holding him off for now. Kurt goes to the bottom. Kyle's trying to run the outside. They were both running the outside. Pretty even off of 1. Kurt stretched it back out. Kyle didn't get a big run, but he ran him down there. We're not far from pit stops.
Fighting a tight condition to allow this 18 to close in. The traffic. See that traffic way out there ahead. Little clear track. Right now,
Lap traffic favors the 18. Always does.
Busch controls it.
He's just better at navigating it than anybody I've ever seen.
A 33.80 the 2 laps prior, and then just went a 33.30. Like, I don't know if he had something going on he was dealing with, or he just learned how to drive the tight.
Kurt's starting to stretch it out again. It looked like Kyle was going to catch him, but now he's starting to drive away again. Running different lines. But look at Kyle through 1 and 2. Kyle Busch through 1 and 2 is faster than Kurt.
All the way to the top of the racetrack.
See how he gets off at 3 and 4. Last couple times off at 3 and 4, it's been favoring Kurt, but 1 and 2, Kyle looks pretty quick.
Goes to the bottom of 3 and 4 again. Right there against that apron.
Here comes a run off of 4. Not going to get close enough to do anything with it.
Ripping the fence.
So now a little gap between 1 and 2 here. And Steve, would we try to break this stage up, try to get it as close to the middle before you come to pit road?
It depends on how your car is handling. If you're really losing the grip, maybe you come a lap or 2 early. But you can't ask too much out of that last set of tires. 55 to go in the race currently. I would like to see 45, 47 to go before I came to pit road. The big difference is between these two, who blinks first. You know, whoever's in second.
About 40, 45 to go, like they said. That's when I'd pit. Kurt's got 2 lap cars, 2 wide in front of him. Oh, they sorted out. They're single file now. Where are they going to go? Kurt goes to the middle. 1 lap goes high, 1 goes low.
One took the high road, the other one took the low road. So
Wonder Boy, you take the high, I'll take the low.
It looked like Kyle was just going to run Kurt down, like ran him down.
Yeah, I was getting nervous. I thought, yeah, here it comes. It's over, but Kurt held him off.
Kurt got faster again, is driven back away from his brother.
I see another thing that's interesting is how close these guys are willing to push it up against that outside wall, especially in
hate this fucking aero package.
Kyle Busch right on the wall. The closer you can get to it, there's more speed, but it's slick racetrack. If you misjudge
Kurt running high that time in 2. Kyle's running middle.
Gonna be in trouble.
Catching a lap car down the back. Couple of lap cars. 37 and the 99. 99 goes low. 37 goes high.
Lift a little bit because of the weight.
But Kyle wasn't able to keep his car on the bottom at all. He just washed
Kyle
right
drove
off
in on the
racetrack.
bottom to try to stay with Kurt and just completely missed it. So far, light traffic's not hurting Kurt. It's not hurting him much. Kyle's car is just not handling as good as Kurt's. That's the difference right now.
This will get frustrating for Kurt because as he runs his
Kurt's got mostly clean air,
even though he's off
dealing with a
pace,
little traffic here and
taking air
there.
off his car. His car is not going to drive as well.
Yeah, the 99 just came to pit road a few laps ago to get tires, so he has a little extra pace with that damaged
18's going to short pit him and beat him to pit road and get the lead off of that.
So as this gap
I'd be willing to bet on it.
Dale and Jeff, the question I'm now thinking is I go back to third and fourth. 3 and 5 seconds out for Bowman and Larson. At most tracks, that's so far out you can't really push the issue on green flag cycle. But here, I mean, if one of those guys come to pit road, I think you have to just counter right away, don't you think? If you're the leader, Kurt Busch Jr., and you know the guy in third comes to pit road, you want to come the next lap.
Third place being 3 seconds back. That would give Bowman a chance to eat away at that 3 seconds. Dave.
Logano's pitting with 50 to go. You can make it from here, but that still feels really early. Yeah, there's not been one legit. Well, no, the 99 and the 47 wreck. That's it. Oh my God! Fuck off, McAfee. He's trying to charge my iPod for work tomorrow because I don't have signal at work to listen to anything right now. I told you the 18 would beat the one to pit road. Look how busy pit road is, though. So Kyle Busch, Bowman, Truex, Reddick, and Larson all pitted, and Kurt Busch ran a lap longer. Kurt Busch better pit this time. He's coming. Kyle Busch is not happy. Kurt Busch pitted a lap later than these guys. We'll see how it cycles out. You got to black flag the 18. He drove through many pit boxes. So we're about to see where the 1 and the 18 cycle through. Whoever gets out front is going to win the race because you can't pass. They're so even, it's whoever gets out front. Okay, Kurt's going off pit road. Kyle's coming off of 4. I told you he was going to pit early and get the lead. Oh boy. And Kyle Busch takes the lead through pit stops just like I said he would. See you later. 48 to go, 18 out front. Kyle Larson too fast on pit road. Good to know he would have thrown it away anyway, even if he was winning. Kyle Busch was more aggressive getting on pit road. That's what Junior said. Kurt Busch probably a little more conservative and pitted a lap later. Now he's over a second behind his brother. So 47 to go. Kyle Busch 1.2 second lead. And that's the race. The 5 is going to be a lap down because he sped on pit road. Or he's going to be tailing the lead lap.
A lot more conservative on that pit entry.
You know me, I was giving it all to the crew chief of the pit call, but the gap is definitely...
We're about to find out what kind of car Kurt Busch really has if he can run down and make this pass. You know how hard it is to pass with this fucking aero package. But at least they'll be close together.
Because of an aerodynamic disadvantage when he got right behind Kurt. And so what do you do as a crew chief to make sure I made the call? I can come a lap earlier than Kurt, have a good pit stop, and perhaps get out front like they did.
I knew that was going to happen. I knew it. As soon as I saw them pit and Kurt not pit, I knew that was going to happen.
How hard are we running? 46 to go, 1 second lead.
Everybody pitted at the exact same time. Hell, that was weird. Nobody ran long.
I think you send it. I think you go for it. And you got the car that can run on the short run, the middle of the run, and the end. You may get a yellow late in the race as well for an opportunity to come back to pit road and put tires on. But I'd be telling my crew chief everything my car's doing right now, because if you do get that late run, You need that early run speed. You got to be able to adjust the car. If you don't have that speed, you need to fire off and run a quick 10 laps like this race.
Back to this pit stop.
The lead has not shrunk or grown. It's been 1.2 seconds the whole time.
2 seconds ahead. He pitted a lap before. The difference between new tires and old tires for Kyle.
Matt DiBenedetto's in the top 10.
That getting on pit road a lap before, that is the difference right here. That is 1.4 seconds. He has a 1.2 second lead. Advantage new tires.
Kurt Busch knows what it's like when I play NASCAR 2005 now. Get fucked on. This morning in my race at Atlanta, I pitted at the same time as Junior in second. I beat him into pit road by a mile, and his pit stall is 2 stalls behind mine. My pit stop's over. Guess what the game does? Holds me in place, holds me. Junior comes out. You can go now. It literally held me in place to let Junior pass me on pit road. Good God, look at the traffic. Kyle Larson's 21st after speeding on pit road. Chase Elliott 7th. Clawing his way back to the front. Boy, I whiffed on my race picks today. Totally whiffed. Bubba's outrunning his boss man. This is the longest 400-mile race I've ever watched. Well, no, Kentucky was usually pretty bad.
Wasn't that the Kurt Kyle show?
Almost wide open through those turns.
Kurt Busch has got the lead under a second. He's cut about 6/10 off of it.
I was wanting to see those lap cars.
This will be about 50 they got to make. So, who was good on the long run? If it goes green this whole way.
Kyle Busch pretty good. They're both pretty good on the long run. It's hard to say who's better. I just think Kurt had to clean air for so long being the leader. Like I said, I think Kyle's going to hold on and win. So.
Possibility. He's done it 12 times before. NASCAR nonstop.
Guys, I know Kurt's running him down, but how many times have you had to sit here and watch this shitty fucking aero package? Oh, he ran him down. Oh, he got top behind him. Oh, he ran him down again. Oh, he got top behind. That's all you're going to see. Like, it's like a big deal. He can run him down. Good luck passing him, though. You got to pass him.
What is a pass?
What's a pass? I don't know. I watch these fucking shitty, low horsepower, high downforce cars run around. So, yeah, he can run him down, but can he pass him?
Easy.
I ain't seen one green flag pass for the lead all day since Kurt passed Kyle the first time. He's running him down pretty good now, though. But it's too early to get optimistic. Until he passes him, I'm not going to be optimistic. Kurt's doing a good job, though. Oh, that dirty air. It's getting to that time of the race where I'm going to have to say that a lot.
Dirty air.
Because he's going to run him down and then get tight. And then he's going to back it up and run him down again. And then he's going to get tight. All Kyle has to do is run the same fucking line Kurt's running, and he'll win the race. The only way Kurt's going to beat him is if they catch Joey Logano or Ryan Newman or something. I don't fucking know. And these with how hard it is to pass with these shitty cars, the laps just seem to go by faster and faster. That's why Pocono had me all riled up when Larson's trying to run down Bowman. I'm like, he's running out of fucking laps. Because when you get tight, you have to spend the next 2 laps trying to get back to him after you got tight when you pulled right up on him. So it's like even more urgent. Yeah. So the sense of urgency is doubled. I know there's 35 laps to go, but really it's like there's only about 20 to go. Could be another one of them fantastic Atlanta. Imagine if we actually got one of them crazy side-by-side Atlanta finishes with these fucking shitty cars. Could you imagine?
They wouldn't repay.
8/10 of a second lead for Kyle Busch over brother Kurt Busch. And what a difference a year makes. We talk about, Kevin Harvick and the struggles. On the
Chip Ganassi sold his team to Trackhouse. Can Kurt Busch get him another win?
And he had a win streak that he was really worried about. He said, I've invested 16 years in this racing. And
Kurt Busch got it down to half a second.
One race every single year. Well, he got that win last year.
With 35 to go, coming 34.
2 wins for Kyle Busch. Maybe could make it 3, but quite a difference of his mentality going into this race, obviously, and the playoffs that are coming up.
And we asked him about that win streak this year as soon as he won on NASCAR American Motor Mouths.
Keep doing what you're doing. He's driving the heck out of it, sliding and trying to catch out and make ground.
That's great radio from the spotter to the 18.
Kyle gapped him that lap by about 2 more tenths, back to 7 tenths. But off of 2, Kyle got in the dirty air of the 10. Kurt closed back up again.
You could almost feel the relief just talking to him that he knew that was behind him. He could then focus ahead at the playoffs and trying to make a run for a championship.
Racing the way it is right now, and the field's so spread out across this racetrack, it's going to be more than just Kyle Busch behind the wheel of this car that gets them to victory lane. They're going to have to get great help.
Kyle caught the 10 at the perfect time on the front stretch where he could use a draft on him and pull ahead a little bit.
Try to get them to go where they need them to go. To not be able to impede.
Wouldn't be some shit if the right front just came off at 18 right now?
We know earlier in the season,
Kyle stretched it out again that lap because he caught the 10 on a straightaway. You want to catch him on a straightaway. That helps. Corner, it's off turbulent air. Fastest car right now, probably Kurt Busch, but it ain't going to matter because you can't pass. Here we go again. It's just like Michigan last year. It's just like Kansas last year. It's just like Atlanta earlier this year. It's like both Pocono races this year. It's the same fucking shit again.
20 laps, maybe 15. Kurt was a little bit quicker over the last several laps.
Yeah, but he ain't gained nothing. He gets to about half a second, and then he drops to 8 tenths back. And then he gets to half a second, and then he drops to 8 tenths back again.
Both of them right on the bottom in 3 and 4.
Now we'll see what he's got. They got pretty clean racetrack in front of them for a while. They're not going to catch a lapper for another lap and a half, 2 laps.
Kurt Busch asking about.
Kurt asking when his brother is at his best in this race. And, yeah, it's usually right in the middle. It's in the middle of a long run. Kyle doesn't take off that good, but in the middle of the run he's fast, and late in the run he kind of fades.
It's going to be Ross Chastain, the next car.
And then Kurt's been more consistent all day long through the entire run. He's just got to run him down and try to make this impossible pass.
Ross Chastain.
Yeah, Chastain is last car on the lead lap, and he's probably going to be a pain in the ass. And his teammate is Kurt Busch. So 30 to go. Kurt's got it down to half a second. They're coming up on Chastain, who's the last car on the lead lap.
Doing it again this time. See if Kurt continues to run that top lane.
Now Kyle switches it up, runs the bottom with Kurt.
Remember earlier we heard Dave mention.
I wonder how far back it is that dirty air hurts you. Seems like if you get within like 5 or 6 tenths, it starts to just hurt you so bad.
He said, if I would have gotten to him, I would have put the bumper to him and moved him out of the way. I want to win that bad. Well, now, can he get to him and potentially move his brother out of the way here?
Once again, Kurt went to the top.
You can't move anybody. You just get tight if you try to get that close to move. You just got to try to pass them. You can't get anybody loose. You can't bump anybody out of the way because you can't get near anybody because your car gets tight and the nose takes off towards the wall.
Slow down that 18 car like lap traffic in front of him.
These cars suck. We know this.
This race early this season, such a difference maker.
But the cars are close together, so because there's going to be a closer margin of victory, Dylan, that technically means Atlanta was better than Road America. Anybody with half a fucking brain cell would know that Road America was a much better race than this.
The right front or the right rear, trying to use all those tires evenly throughout this run, not to upset the car and ruin the car for late in this race.
27 laps to go. Let's get some
27 to go. It's back to 7 tenths now. He ain't going to get him.
You at home who are brothers, you kind of wonder, do these brothers compete against each other in a heavy hitter kind of way? Absolutely.
I wonder if they're flying home together.
They know each other's moves. They watch each other constantly. They review what they've done, and every once in a while around the dinner table they might share just enough to give the other a
It's a 2-car race. Bowman's over 6 seconds back in third.
Now Kurt Busch chasing down Kyle Busch. They run 1-2. We'll see if it'll be another 1-2 finish for the Busch brothers.
Kurt had a good 3 and 4 there. You see that? He gained 3/10 through 3 and 4. Went from 0.8 to 0.5.
Today, the car has struggled a little bit on long runs with a tight condition, but they've soldiered on throughout the day, adjusted on it on nearly every pit stop. They've run inside the top 5 almost the entire race and sit third right now, Marty.
Dylan, as we go through the field, we find Martin Truex Jr. in the 4th position.
Chastain running the bottom. Kyle Busch running the outside. Chastain's last car on the lead lap. Let's see if Chastain's going to be a pain in the ass. They ran different lines through 4. Now Kyle's going to have to contend with him. What line is the 42 going to run? He takes Kyle's line away. The 42's running the high line. It didn't really hurt Kyle much. But the 42 mirror drive the 18 there. Kurt didn't really gain a lot out of it. And Chastain runs his line again. Oh, yeah, he's blocked. Now Kurt's got it. Kurt's got it won. His teammate just won in the race. They're side by side for the lead. The 42 started mirror driving the 18, and the 1 is there. Kurt Busch led that lap. That's all it took was 1 lap car. And watch the 42. He's going to block the 18 again. Oh, Kyle pinched him down. 3 wide with a lap car. Kyle trying to pin his brother down. Oh. Woo. And look at the 42. He goes to the bottom. He's going to shove the 1. This is fucking hilarious, dude. This aero package is so goddamn stupid. Ross Chastain, a lap car, just blocked the 18 and then got behind Kurt Busch and pushed him to the lead. Kurt Busch is leading. This aero package is fucking stupid, but Kurt Busch is leading come hell or high water. That is out fucking standing. Oh, my, I got to tell Cameron about that. He'll get a kick out of that. That is fucking funny.
He wants the bottom. That's the way to be over here. Kyle's going to take the top, just trying to get clean air. What does Kurt do in 1 and 2? Looks like to me Kurt's car is better on the bottom, but he does not want to give his brother a run on the top. Wants to take the air away from him. To the top, just trying to mess with the air.
You ain't even got to talk about the air down there, Will.
I told you, dirty air. That's what it was. I couldn't believe it. That was worse than what Logano did to Larson. That was worse. He mirror drive Kyle Busch, and then when they got side by side, he backed off and tucked in behind Kurt and drafted him by Kyle. That is fucking hilarious. And now Kurt's out front by 6/10, 21 to go.
Show the straightaway in front of them. It's full of race cars, so we're going to have more of it. Look at all of them.
If I'm Kurt, I'm going to the bottom this time.
That is fucking hilarious. Oh, man.
Still a half a second separating these two.
It pays to have teammates.
We have to use the number 20 because that's it. 20 laps remaining on this surface at Atlanta Motor Speedway. So much history here. Kyle Busch has been very vocal. He doesn't want him to change it. He doesn't want him to do anything different here. He's had great success on this surface.
So I think the next car that Kurt Busch should be concerned about is possibly not this lower lap traffic, okay? It's the cars in the lead lap that have pace. The next car is in front of him. That's Kyle Larson. When he gets within dirty air of that 5-car Kyle Larson or whoever that lead lap car is, that's when he's going to have the same issue that the 18 car had. He's going to stall out. And that car could make things difficult for him, just like Ross Chastain made things difficult for Kyle Busch.
Chastain heard that Michael had a bet on Kurt Busch.
There's the distance now.
I knew Ross was going to do that. I knew Ross was going to do that shit.
Kyle Larson a lap down.
Now Larson's the last car on the lead lap in 20th. Byron's just in front of him.
In this position, but I think we're all surprised.
We still got 17 laps to go.
Could get lapped here at Atlanta, where he dominated in the spring.
That was a teammate.
He made his car better, but just didn't have the
Yeah, I remember Kurt and Kyle at Kentucky. It was a lot different than this. Man, it pays to have teammates. It pays to have teammates. 42 did the 18 so dirty. I knew he was gonna.
And there's a lot of lap cars to contend with here. And Kurt has closed in on the 5 car quite a bit. The 5 and the 24 side by side right here.
David Land, oh boy, that was awfully cheeky. It sure was.
One thing that Kurt's able to do, though, it seems like
Not only did he mirror drive the 18, he pushed the 1 by the 18. That was so obvious. Deliberately helping your teammate. Oh, I love it, though. Now, Kurt Busch is about to have to lap 2 Hendrick cars on a 1.5 miles. This ain't over, because I don't think these two are going to lay over. 15 to go, and Kurt's got about 6/10 on his brother, and he's catching 2 really fast cars that are tailing the lead lap. One's back there because of a penalty. 24 goes high, the 1 goes low. That hurt Kurt on exit. Kyle might get a run at him down the back here. No. We got the 78 on the bottom, the 24 up top. Kurt threads the needle. Kurt can clear the 24 here. He does.
Caught that slower car and was able to get around him and get to the bottom.
14 more to go.
Come on, sexy.
100 laps shorter than normal here in Atlanta. A 400-mile race. Big wheel right there.
100 laps shorter than normal.
You know how tense it is in that car right now, Rick. It is. You know it's 14 to go. You were going to the playoffs. If you're Kurt Busch, you're going.
Kurt Busch had such a shit season because of mechanical failures and other bullshit, and he might win this.
In 16th in points, just 25 points above the cut line before this race. A win locks him into the playoffs.
Let's not forget, Rick, this is going to be a long run on the last set of tires while pushing the hardest. They're going to add these tires while the racetrack has changed colors.
Kyle Busch almost hit the wall off of 2. Almost. That was as close as you could get to the wall without hitting it.
Run as hard as you can. That's what they've been doing. They got to do it again for 13
I thought Bowman
more
was the worst Hendrick car.
An excellent one at that time. He could have been
we don't need to call Truex.
Truex just passed Bowman for 3rd. Reddick's still in the top 5.
That was a big lap right there for Kurt.
Matty D's 9th. Bell having a second good race in a row. He was 2nd last week and doing good today. Kyle gained a lot on Kurt that lap. I like how I'm sitting here thinking in my mind that he ain't going to be able to pass him, but Kyle's right there within 3/10. Kyle Busch is right there. Kurt bottom of 3. Kyle goes to the wall. Oh, boy, look at this run. Look at this run. Kurt got loose on the bottom as well. Man, it looked like Kyle was going to come flying off of 4 and get by, but he didn't get there. 11 to go. Just run his line, Kurt. Just run his line. Run his line. Mirror drive. Mirror drive. Kurt, the back end of Kurt's car is trying to come around. Oh, Kyle's there. Kyle's faster on the high side. If they're both running the high side, Kyle's faster. All Kurt can rely on is that dirty air. Oh, lap car in the way. They both go to the bottom. I think Kurt's better on the bottom. Kurt's better on the bottom. Dirty air. Buys Kurt another lap. Yeah, Truex was over 7 seconds back. He's got it under 4.5 now.
It's back to 0.4 of a second.
10 to go. Kurt just needs to run his line. If Kurt could just get up a little higher, like Junior just said, if he could just run a little higher, that dirty air will do the job for him. But damn, Kyle got closer than Kurt did without the help of traffic. Larson could still play a factor. They're coming to 9 to go, and they still haven't caught Kyle Larson. He's right there in front of them now.
Continues to close in on Larson, and that's making this day even that much more difficult. Although Larson is running the bottom of the racetrack in 1 and 2, that helps Kurt as long as Kurt wants to run that top lane. Giving him clean air.
I think Kurt's got the top figured out now. You see Kyle didn't really close in the last couple laps like he was doing.
Really, as much of a veteran race car driver as he is,
Now Kurt goes to the bottom of 3 and 4. Kyle's on the outside. Larson's ahead of them running the bottom. 3 and 4 is going to be Kyle's best bet to get this done if they get close enough to Larson for Larson's dirty air to fuck up Kurt running the bottom. But 1 and 2, they're pretty even running the outside. Kurt's able to move up a little more now and make Kyle be in his tire tracks.
To try to win this race, like himself in the playoffs. That 18 car is clawing. Watch this 18 run the fence down here.
Kurt to the bottom. Kyle outside. 3 and 4 again.
It worked the last lap.
It's working.
Look at the run he's going to have.
But Kurt's still good enough to hold him off from running the bottom. They're not close enough for Larson's dirty air to hurt him yet. I think Larson's actually faster than them. You know Larson had a top 5 car. I'm not surprised he's... Uh-oh. Kyle changed his line in 1 and 2. He got to Kurt's inside. This is it. I think Kyle's got it. Oh, no. Side by side. And Kurt clears Kyle into 3 and 4. Go to the bottom, Kurt. Kyle's going to go to the top. I still like Kurt running the bottom here. He's faster. Ooh, Kyle about bounced off. Did he hit the wall? Kyle got really tight up against the wall. Man, that was scary. Kyle had him side by side down the back. Oh, Lord. Now Kyle's going to have to spend the next lap and a half, 2 laps, gathering it back up again. Now Kyle's to the bottom of 1 and 2. Kurt's running towards the top. But Kurt's looser than Kyle. Kurt was looser than Kyle there. He carried that looseness into a run down the back.
0.4 of a second.
Oh, Lord. I thought this was over. God damn it. Dirty air, man. Come on. It's funny when the guy you're cheering for is out front. You're like, yeah, dirty air. 5 to go. I think Larson's fast enough to stay in front of these guys. That's the problem. Larson's not going to try to hold anybody up, but damn. They got more lap traffic now. It's not just Larson.
0.6 of a second.
It's going to be big going into 3. They've got 4 lap cars in front of them, all running 2 wide each. Kurt follows the faster one. He's on the bottom with Larson. Not bad. That worked out great for Kurt. That worked out great. That couldn't have gone any better. He passed the 34 and the 52. Kyle had a bad run off of 2 that time. Didn't hit the wall, but damn near got close. Kyle Busch has almost hit the wall about 3 or 4 times. Kurt gets loose running the middle. I wish he wouldn't do that, but he's having to deal with the 34.
Under 4 laps to go.
4 to go. Larson's still fast, staying in front of him. Larson should probably be racing with them right now. If he didn't get the penalty, he'd at least be 4th or 5th.
Whichever one's leading, I guess.
Larson pulls over and gives Kurt the bottom. That's where Kurt likes to run in 3 and 4. But that may be bad because that brought Kurt closer to Larson's. Now if Larson runs the same line, it will affect him.
Everything he had. Nothing left in that 18 car.
3 to go. Kyle Busch has dropped a second and a half back. Yeah, Kyle's pretty much done here, I think. Uh-oh, there's Joey Logano ahead, but he's running the high side. Kurt's on the bottom. We're coming to 2 to go, and Kurt's got Larson and Logano in front of him with 2 to go. Yeah, remember earlier? Hey, look, Logano laid over and let him go. I'll be damned. That favor Kurt Busch gave him early in the race came into play here because Logano straight up let him go. So, you know how I said earlier? I was wrong. I didn't think Joey would repay the favor, but he did.
Kurt needs another lap and a half.
Coming to the white flag.
He comes up on the back bumper. Of the 5 of Kyle Larson.
Credit One Bank, 1 to go. Kurt Busch leading by about a second and a half. Larson still on the lead lap in front of him in 18th.
That's funny watching Larson outrun.
Yeah, because he was almost as fast as them. Kyle Busch just put together a hell of a corner, but it's too late.
Which would tie him with Fireball Roberts for 25th all-time in wins in the Cup Series. Fireball Roberts has won.
Chip Ganassi Racing.
Speedway. And now, out of 4
Kurt Busch.
Kurt Busch is going to win the brother duel. He wins in Atlanta.
Good job, Kurt. That's awesome. I never would have called Kurt Busch winning this race today. And he's good here. I should have known. Kyle Busch second, Truex third, Bowman fourth, Blaney fifth. Wasn't bad there at the end. Reddick 6th, Elliott 7th, Bell 8th, Benedetto 9th, Kozlowski 10th, Harvick got 11th. I said Harvick would finish between 6th and 10th, but he finished 11th.
I thought Ross was more excited.
Yeah, Ross Chastain, team MVP for Ganassi.
Kurt Busch at 42.
Chastain's the real MVP.
I knew Kurt would win the race this year. I knew he would.
We said it before.
You want to see somebody who's going to get excited about winning a race? Watch Kurt Busch in this celebration. And he's not done yet. He's going to be with a good team next year, Kurt Busch. He's either going to be at Trackhouse or he's going to be at 2311. Michael, you're giving me $10? Well, bless your heart. Go Kurt Busch.
12 different drivers have won the Cup Series. Kurt Busch becoming the 12th. Now just 4 spots remain in that playoff picture.
So did Hendrick technically win the race?
Their engines did. Michael won all of his bets. What a day. Odd number car, Kurt Busch. He got his prop bets because Briscoe and Matty D were in the top 20. Kurt Busch. What a turnaround. Everybody used to hate this guy. I said all race long, I'm not confident something stupid will happen. And then something even dumber happened to help him get the win back after they gave it away from pitting a lap later under pit stops.
Boy, Rick, you think about the clutch wins for Kurt Busch over the last 2 years. A couple years ago at Kentucky, got him into the playoffs.
Kurt Busch wins exciting races. It's never boring.
He delivers here at his favorite racetrack, Atlanta Motor Speedway. Final race in this configuration. The fans love it. How about that, Kurt? More significant, I mean, obviously.
Rest in peace, Atlanta Motor Speedway.
In the playoffs, but that you were able to beat your brother heads up on a green flag run for that long.
I feel like every time Kurt
Hell yeah, we beat Kyle.
Kurt the Russell, hell yeah, we beat him.
I taught that kid everything he knows. He should be grateful, but what a battle, what a genuine, awesome old school racetrack. And I just asked the track today, last time here on your old asphalt, can I have an old guy win? And she answered. So thank you, Atlanta Motor Speedway. This has been one of those years where I knew we were going to have our backs against the wall, trying to get the cutoff above the cutoff line and race hard and race smart. And to have Gear Wrench in victory lane. This is their last race of the year. They're with us all year. And with Monster Energy, I couldn't have 2 great primary sponsors. What a Chevrolet today, hell yeah!
I'll take 1 win a year. I'd take that every year, at least.
Young teammate that you gave so much credit to. What was the key moment where he was able to push you by the
Yeah.
Shake and bake. Shake and bake. Hey, man, 42. He did his job as a teammate.
Shake it before you make it.
But that's what it takes to be a good teammate at the right moment. So I couldn't be more proud of Ross Chastain. I'll pay him back eventually, but right now this is our #1 car in victory lane. You pull off these clutch wins all the time, Kurt, to put you in the playoffs. But with the unknown of next year, how big is this moment for you personally? It's wonderful. For all of Ganassi, Trackhouse bought our team. I don't know where I'm going, but I just love racing cars, and I want to race that next gen car. That's why I'm trying to stick around. Will you guys have me next year if I stick around? Hey, Kurt, welcome to the playoffs.
Boy, time travel back to like 2010 and ask people that. Boo.
Big win for Kurt.
second place for Kyle today to your brother. What was the difference?
Look at it.
Just same as always. We just don't have enough front end with laps on tires. You know, I had everything I had there early, and then just smoked it behind the 42. Obviously, shows you what kind of driver he is.
Oh.
And just tried to fight hard after that when I got past, and had one valiant effort off of 2.
I knew Ross was going to do that because him and Kyle have had run-ins before, and they don't really like each other.
Tires were smoked, so you know, great effort. Guys gave me a great piece. We're fast. One was definitely better than us today. I just thought I had him, and we did. You know, but racing just didn't play out that way for us. So the Skittles gummies, Camry was fast, and thanks to Toyota TRD, Rowdy Energy Drink, Interstate Batteries.
Skittles gummies. I'm about to try me some of them.
Good piece, just not quite good enough. Just need that tick more.
Kyle, describe for us how you got that lead under the green flag.
Interview's over, man.
It looked like at that point that you did have the race in hand.
That's what you just said.
Yeah, I had no idea how I got it. I'd have to go back and look at all the metrics. You know, I don't know where we'd be.
He was better on pit road entry and pitted a lap earlier. That's how he got it.
When I seen it, we cycled
And then Kurt Busch had a teammate.
Certainly it was. Yeah.
Kyle second today here at Atlanta. Rick?
He looks thrilled.
Thanks, Dave. Obviously, you can tell
what kind of driver he is.
I've seen him and Ross yet. Remember, what race was it earlier this year? Kyle and Ross were on pit road. It was Phoenix. Remember Phoenix earlier this year? Kyle and Ross were yelling at each other after the race. And they've had their run-ins in the Xfinity Series too, Ross and Kyle Busch. So
That's a great memento.
a little bit of history there.
Cherish for a lifetime.
I bet the cameraman like that.
Well, I guess that was fun. That had no right being as good as it was at the end. But it was. Thank God for the multiple lines. It's a good thing Atlanta Motors. Oh, wait, never mind. We won't have that next year. Well.
Who's that green car back here?
Shake and bake. Oh, don't you love those ethical moments in racing, or unethical? It's like racing ethics. That's a tough thing to explain to people who are getting into it for the first time when you're like, oh, they shouldn't have done that. Why not? It's like, well, it's kind of fucking dirty what Ross did. Kind of bullshit, but
taking his
ethics.
Okay to me, blocking, no.
And then just straight up pushing the other guy. Like,
you can't do that.
Ross Chastain played God at the end of that race. If he'd just laid over like he probably should have, Kyle probably wins, but nah, he mirror drove the fuck out of Kyle Busch and then side drafted him. I ain't mad. It's fucking funny. I was mad when Logano did the same shit to Larson, but
I could see why Kyle Busch fans would be mad, but I'm not.
That was even worse than what Logano did to Larson. That was way worse. But all right, y'all. I guess my stream's over.
That was a legit bump and run.
I'm gonna have too much fun laughing myself to sleep about this one. I got to work tomorrow, so. You coming next week, Dylan?
Yeah. We got a 2-week break, so.
Yeah, might as well.
Might as well come watch Kevin Harvick win his first race.
No, you're gonna watch Brad Keselowski win out of nowhere, like he always does. Yeah.
Oh, well, I'll see.
See you. And I'll see you guys later as well. Kurt Busch was at 30-1 at the start of this race, but I don't know why. I just blanked on Kurt Busch today, but I'm happy for him. Have a good night, guys. I'll see you sometime this week for whatever else I stream and for the races next week.